Bam, 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 bam. What is up, everybody? We are back for our afternoon Starfield therapy. We are going to get going here and play some hang on. In just a second we are. Cat had stuff related to doors and things that had to be shut. All right. Okay, where's my controller? Continue. Exit save. Load the exit save. We are continuing our adventures. Tuesday is right around the corner. Indeed it is. New PS trailer looked really cool. It was short. It does look good. Barcool Gaming's his first time viewer. Can't wait for the release of Starfield. Nice. A Renfail in his natural habitat. Some days. Some days. By the way, folks, the last few days we've been having internet hiccups around this time when I stream. So if I randomly disappear, it's going to be because of internet hiccups. Sometimes I manage to catch it in time to yank the Ethernet and plug my backup internet in, but sometimes I don't. If I randomly disappear, rest assured, as long as it's not a power outage, I will be back as soon as possible. Lou says, hey, only Wrens. Shout out from dialysis. What's up, Lou? Relax as best you can in said dialysis. And yes, all of our new channel members on YouTube are referred to as our only Wrens. That's right, kids. We go above and beyond to provide you with entertainment here, including super secret, special member-only videos on YouTube for our only Wrens. All right. We've said hi to everybody on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. What's up, Tay Cruz over on TikTok? What's up, Detroit? I don't know what I want to work on today. I just recorded the beginner's guide to backgrounds and traits for character creation, which is already out for channel members, but it'll be out tomorrow morning for the general masses. So that guide is ready to go. We have another video prepped and ready to go for 6 p.m. Central tonight.
Need some work done?
That's already scheduled to come out for channel members, coming out to the general public at 6 p.m. this evening. Let's sell some of this shit that I don't need. Man, I want to mod this. I don't have any adhesive left though. Okay. I think starting over is going to be up to the individuals. If you already own it on the Xbox and PC, I don't necessarily think there's a reason to start over.
Aquila is not the sprawling capital of the Freestar Collective I was expecting. It's much more quaint. I like it though.
Sweet Pea says, I love that new gun. I'm doing the Trackers Alliance again in this new universe to get it. Nice. I need more adhesives if I'm going to mod it, because I modded this bad boy last night. And so I don't have any more adhesives left over. So I do want to, if I can get my hands on some more mods. That is a sweet ass gun. I realize it's not the advanced version, but man, it just looks cool as shit, man. It's really cool. So I'm gonna go mod it anyway, just so I can have a cool laser rifle. At some point, I need adhesives first.
If you're looking for a sidearm, I recommend Laredo's firearm bag.
Matter of fact, let's duck in here and see if he's got anything for sale.
I get all. Everyone needs supplies. Here, browse to your heart's content.
He does have a whole bunch of adhesives. Thank you very much. Matter of fact, Curtis Creation says, I started my new character, have leveled up 78, I'm ready to go. Nice. Alright. I have enough to do some mods with this bad boy. Whoa. Dude, that looks like a nail gun. That's hilarious. All right. Do I have any modding stations on this ship? I've never actually paid attention. It doesn't matter. All my mods are back on all my resources are back on. We're going back really quick to Jemison. Man, this is going to be one area I keep commenting. I can't wait for the new database to drop in the Free Lanes update, so that we don't have to do this whole, you know, rigmarole of going through like 6 different things to go to our favorited locations. We could just very quickly. I like using the map for new locations. I think it's a cool map. But when I'm just want to go to the lodge quickly, I can't wait for the ability to. What do you mean I'm overloaded? Oh shit, I am overloaded. That like never happens. Okay. Well, I guess we're taking the long way. This game is very violent.
Hey Dad, want to hear a poem I wrote? It's called a haiku. I just read about that.
A haiku? Sounds acceptable material.
Okay. It's called Space. Space is cold and dark. Achieving orbit now. Starships fly there like comets, carrying us home.
Alpha Centauri, take me home. Take me home, shipbreaker. To the lodge where I can craft Back in Jimson, where I've got all my resources stashed away. Taco Bell on the way home. Got coffee brewing. Goddamn, Taco Bell sounds good right about right now. I have not had Taco Bell in a couple of years, and that sounds delish. I did have an awesome grilled chicken baguette baked with Parmesan and all sorts of fun stuff for breakfast. And then I just had 2 chocolate chip cookies with peanut butter slathered on top with a cup of coffee before I sat down. Oh, and a couple slices of Manchego cheese with Ritz or saltine crackers. Nothing fancy. That was a quick lunch because Chris has been cleaning the chicken coop for 3 hours. And so she was like, I'm not cooking lunch today. And I was like, I don't need lunch. There's plenty of snacks. We had a big old breakfast. I went for a run today. She came with me. She did not run, but she came with me this morning. Peanut butter on a cookie. I like it on some cookies, not all cookies. Oh, Drip Rom, sometimes it's not about are there better taco restaurants around. Sometimes it's about the fact that you just want to be a fast food whore and just stuff that Taco Bell in your mouth like the dirty little fast food whore that you are, and just gag on it and enjoy every last bite of that delicious fast food nastiness. Trust me, Taco Bell sometimes is the best shit ever. It's just, yes, there are better taco restaurants there, but you don't go to Taco Bell for the tacos. You go to Taco Bell because it satisfies that craving we all have deep down inside of us when we want to be a fast food whore. It's just, spread it all over me. I'm gonna be a dirty fast food whore. Give it to me. Give me my Mickey D's. Give me my Wendy's. My Burger King. My Taco Bell. Just don't get it in my eyes. It's just, oh man. This is the Shield Breaker. It's not a custom ship. Yeah, I don't have Taco Bells where I live either, Drip Rom. So it's one of those things where it's like, I haven't had it. I think the last time I had it when I went and visit, because my brother loves Taco Bell. That's like, he likes to go there. Like, him and his wife cook most of their meals because my sister-in-law is an amazing cook. But he will go get Taco Bell like every couple of weeks. Him and his wife will both love it. It's like their junk food. It's like me with Pop-Tarts. You know, I don't do them very often, but when I do, don't watch me eat them because I am not a nice person when I eat Pop-Tarts. I went with my brother when I was up there last time, and it was delicious. Baja Blast with I got like a combo box, and it had a bunch of everything. It was good. All right, what can I do to this bad boy? And I also say on the trip that I just took, it was a very short trip to go up to Maryland. I had so much like bad food at the airports. I got all my cravings out of my system. I had McDonald's twice, and it was glorious. And I probably won't have McDonald's again for another 2-3 years because there's none where I live. I had Subway twice. All right. This gives me more accuracy. Hell to the yes.
Do you need some help with that?
I do
might have room.
not, but thank you for offering. I'm okay with the reflex sight. I don't need a scope on this thing. No, let's go maximum damage here. What am I missing? Oh, I don't have titanium. We're gonna have to go find some titanium. Because I'm sorry, I have to finish modding this thing. Like, oh my god. Main downside speed, ergonomic. That's 79. Lasers do more damage and now burn enemies. Fuck yeah. Oh, I'm definitely taking that. Ignition beams all the way, baby. Fire rate versus accuracy. Oh, that's a good question. I don't have titanium in any case. I gotta go find titanium somewhere. Receiver! Give me fully automatic, and I need titanium for that too. I need like 10 pieces of titanium to finish modding this thing. So... No, I think if you include moons, it's like 1,600 if you include moons. It's like 1,000 planets plus moons. It's like 1,600 or something. It's a big number. First world problem, food that's too hot to eat straight away when it's ready is never a problem. McDonald's. What's up, Gene? I never play murderous characters. No. Never, never, never. Yep, I have the PS5 version of Starfield pre-ordered. Time to scrap Fasco for titanium. Sacrilege. But also funny as shit. Oh my goodness. There was a question I saw in chat. Let me try to find it really quick. Curtis says when I moved to London, I had to detox from my Taco Bell addiction. That's one of the nice things about where I live is I'm in the middle of nowhere. So, and I can't, there's no fast food where I live. None. There's not a single chain of anything local or international where I live. Oh, here it is. Dark Chuado says, would you want sentient alien races in Starfield in the future? Should they stick to having humans only? I think they should stick to having humans only, and here's why. Because we already have a space, more than one space franchise actually, that has aliens in it. We have the Mass Effect franchise. You could also look at the Warhammer franchise. Exodus, which is coming up from some of the creators of Mass Effect, also has aliens in it. One of the things I have always appreciated about Starfield is the fact that this is a story of humanity, not a story of humans and aliens. So when you look at the history of the settled systems and how long humanity has been here, other people have done the math on this. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but it is something where they worked on with NASA. How many planets could we have explored in 50 light years or whatever? And that's the amount of systems that are in the settled systems that we can see and explore in the Starfield game. So it is based on humanity only having been in space for a short period of time, and it is in the events of a traumatic thing that happened to Earth, which forced them all out into the stars. So there are so many other Babylon 5, Star Trek, Star Wars. There have already been so many sci-fi series and sci-fi games that have done the humans with aliens theme. I really appreciate how Starfield is not, and Starfield keeps it on being the story of humanity still struggling with human issues in space, in the vastness of space, and trying to also, expand technology and explore the systems that they have in front of them. The moment you introduce aliens into Starfield is the moment that you will invariably get people comparing this to every other sci-fi game out there and be like, "Oh, well, now it's just like Mass Effect and they ripped off these guys, and oh, that's just like the Klingons, and those are just like and it's like you've taken away the identity of Starfield at that point, and you've just made it another, humanity versus aliens. So I really personally appreciate the fact that it's a human story. It's NASA punk is the aesthetic. Um, that's obviously my personal opinion. I like this being something where I know that when I go out and explore planets, I'm not necessarily going to find anything like an alien civilization or an alien race. I might find ruins, and that could allude to there have been being aliens somewhere or something of the past. But I really personally hope that they don't ever bring aliens into Starfield, because I think that gets into too many comparisons with too many other games. And those games have already done it very, very well. I think it's great to have a game where it's just tightly focused on that niche. Well, technically the pet thing is an alien. Yeah, there's plenty of alien life in this game. Like, go to any of the planets, you're going to find alien creatures. But I think what people refer to is they want playable aliens, sentient alien races. The moment you bring sentient alien races in, now you have to create a whole backstory for them. You have to create lore. You have to create cities for them. You have to create unique animations and assets and all this other stuff for those unique alien races. I really appreciate being a stripped down version of its humanity's early days in space. Now maybe Starfield 2, maybe the sequel to this game could be set, because look at Elder Scrolls. Those games are always set many years apart, right? So if they ever do a sequel to Starfield down the road, 15, 20 years later down the road, and they make it a game where it's 250 years into the future from where we are right now, and they introduce aliens in the next iteration of Starfield, I think that that's something I would definitely, I'm going to play it no matter what, right? I'm going to enjoy it no matter what. But I do appreciate that this is more about the story and struggles of humans and how they are getting their feet underneath them based on, this horrible tragedy that happened to Earth. They're forced to flee into space. How do they survive? How do the factions grow? How does the technology grow? Yeah, I think but that's obviously that's a personal thing. I don't want aliens in Starfield is really what it comes down to. Dune is a good example of human science fiction, correct? Firefly is another good example of human science fiction. I personally would love them to continue to expand upon the stories we already have, or to expand upon some of the background stories like the Civil War, and being able to kind of explore that direction. I'm interested to see what the Terran Armada is all about. Obviously, that's coming down the pipeline. But yeah, I certainly don't want it to be this thing where all of a sudden we've got, sentient aliens showing up, and we're suddenly, I don't know. It could be done. I would love to see it done intelligently, but I'm very much appreciating the fact that it is a human story for now. You do get pets with the new Terran, or with the new Freelance update. Yep, they're adding pets to the game. And besides, we already technically have, because I don't think we ever know. I've never seen any concrete answers as to what the Starborn are. What are the Starborn? Are the Starborns aliens? Or are the Starborns just advanced humans? And who put the Unity there? Because the Starborn didn't create it. That's my understanding of things, is that's something that was discovered. So there is and alluring to something out there. We don't know exactly what it is, right? Which I think goes back to what they've done with. We've had this discussion when we were playing Skyrim. The Dwemer are never shown. They're only ever talked about. We have ruins that are left behind by them, but they're never shown. And it's one of those things where I'm happy that they've never shown them, and I'm happy that it's just a mystery. Like, what happened to them? We don't really know. Like, you know, they just disappeared. And so I like there being a mystery element to the Starborn as well, because was it an extinct alien civilization, or was it, are we just, is this our latest iteration around the universe as humans, and are the Starborn our predecessors, and we are, you know, whatever's the next version of them? I don't know. I think there's a nice element of vagueness to that, of not needing to know. I don't necessarily need to have the answers every single time. I think there's some fun to be had when you leave it open-ended and you leave it up to the interpretation of the players, without having a definitive answer. Voodoo says how it's, yeah, I like how it's just humans. Yeah, Kid Wisco, they could be people from the future who came back and left these Unity devices, like, Billsmax says that it might be the bootstrap paradox. Humans created the Unity, effectively creating ourselves. See, that's another theory, and I think that's the cool part about having this open-ended, we don't know what the Unity is. We don't know where the Starborn really came from. Like, it's just this thing. So, who was the first? Who discovered it? Where did it come from? I'm saying there's a non-zero chance the Starborn are the Dwemer. But we had this discussion when I was playing Skyrim over the holidays. I literally mentioned that, what if the Dwemer are the intelligent, they left, you know, they left their world behind, like they left the Elder Scrolls behind, right? And they went into space as this advanced civilization and built the Unity, and then now they spun out the multiverse, and that's where the Dwemer went. You know, I think that is a brilliant theory. I think it's my favorite leading theory on who created the Unity, especially considering when you go to like New Homestead and you'll find an Elder Scroll in the museum. There are definitely ties to the Elder Scrolls games and the Fallout games, like in this world. So there's like that multi-universe, this multi-dimensional aspect of tying it all together. I think that is a brilliant theory. It's whoever created it's the Dwemer, guys. It's the Dwemer. Oh, I love it too, Bubbles. I think it's a great theory. That's my version. I'm sticking to it. Damn it. But I mean, that's the cool thing about, like, I don't necessarily think the game needs to have aliens in it to still be a fun, compelling story. There's an Elder Scroll in the Lodge too. I did not know that there was an Elder Scroll in the Lodge, Sweet Pea. I don't know that I've ever seen the one. Is there really? I had no idea. Aliens in Starfield. That'll be a fun video to clip out. Contact is a really cool book. It's also a very good movie. Chris and I just rewatched that maybe about a year ago. I hadn't seen it in a long time. All right. I was going to try to see if I could go find some... I need titanium at this point. Oh, I probably forgot to drop everything off, which means I'm carrying too much and can't fast travel. Okay. Yep, I forgot to drop this off. What is that just laying on the floor for? Somebody's down in here having a party. I had no idea there was an Elder Scroll in here. Ocular, yeah. Is it hidden? That's a good question.
I have been idle here for a long time. I believe Barrett would describe this state as bored.
Bored. That sounds like him.
Lately, I find myself spending more and more time here. Business has appealed to me, but this is exciting.
God, that's such a cool map table, man. I have seen Elysium a couple of times. Yep.
Ever since I got here, this has felt like home. These
I
people
want
are
her
family.
jacket so bad.
I hope it feels that way for you too.
Mostly, I just want your jacket, girlfriend. All right. It's in the bar on a shelf. I did not know that. Everybody's asking to know because there's a bunch of people in chat who didn't know. I didn't know. In the bar. Die Murder on Twitch says Bethesda really wants people to like this game with the update. Oh, sweetheart. People already loved this game. It's a Bethesda game. Bethesda games are beloved worldwide by millions and millions and millions of fans. It's been a beloved game since it launched. As they have said, a Game Pass beast. And now, it's been #1. Matter of fact, let me go check if it's still #1 in the pre-order store on the PlayStation. Hang on.
My wife and I have something.
It's been #1 ever since it got announced on day one. Still #1. Premium Edition, still #1 in the pre-order store for PlayStation, like 16, 17 days running now. But yet it's a dead game that no one wants to play. Bethesda sucks. Starfield sucks. It's a stupid game. No one wants to play it. They really want people to like the game with this update. People have already loved this game. Oh, hang on. We got a Renfell rant that got redeemed a couple of minutes ago. Morpheo, give me a second to get to that because I gotta find this. Yeah, exactly. Only haters say that shit. Hang on. Somebody said it's in the bar on a shelf. What the hell? I did not know that. Oh, I'll be damned. There is an Elder Scroll in the fucking Constellation bar. I had no idea at the lodge. There you go, kids. I've never seen that. I mean, I've ran past it probably 600 times. I've never once seen that. That is hilarious. Alright, hang on. I gotta get to a safe place so that I can do the Renfail rant. What's up, Thorgan? We were talking about you yesterday and you weren't here. So you didn't get to hear the rant that included Thorgan in it. Now, we had a nice discussion about shipbuilding yesterday. And we shared Thorgan's Twitter X to everybody because he's got some really cool ship builds that he shares over there. Alright, let me get a notebook and pen. How many times have I gone through the Unity? This is my 3rd time through with this character. What's up, Harpsy1? Thanks for the membership over on YouTube. Okay. Alright, I had to read the other comment to understand the context of the rant we're about to dive into. You just finished a new ship build, Thorgan? Nice. Pixar, it didn't happen. Alright, so Six Morpheo just redeemed a Renfail rant over on Twitch. There's some context to this, so I need to read the original rant and then the follow-up comments. He says, juicy rant, because I can't stand people who think that only certain demographics can talk about games. Paraphrased directly from Instagram comments, your vision about the game is outdated. You only complain and make boomer takes. I was so mad reading those comments. LMFAO, calling you boomer just because you're not a kid. You know, it's interesting because I didn't start getting the boomer comments until maybe a couple of years ago. I think it's mostly because the white in the beard. Because technically, that's not even my generation. I'm Gen X. Like, I'm the wrong generation. Like, my parents were boomers, as opposed to I'm a Gen X. Like, I'm on the tail end of Gen X, the beginning of the millennials, if you want to be technical about it, because I was born in 1980. It is an interesting thing. Thanks for the super chat over on YouTube, Darth Vader, the Game Cat. I've waited since launch as a PS5 player to play this game. Imagine my excitement when it got announced for the platform. Love what you do. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for the kind words, Darth Vader, the Game Cat. I appreciate the super chat and the support over on YouTube. So, I think that there is definitely an aspect of the younger generation who, Gen Alpha in particular, to a lesser degree Gen Z, but I definitely think Gen Alpha, who have grown up in the bubble of the internet and be able to say wild shit with no repercussions because they're saying it through a mobile device. See, now I really am going to get the boomer comments. You called it a telephone. Shut the fuck up, boomer. Through their mobile device, through their smartphone, through their laptop, through their tablet, whatever whatever device they are using to access the internet. I actually do go back to telephones. Matter of fact, I go back far enough that party lines were a thing when I was growing up. Very early on, party lines kind of went away, but I remember being in single digits and living at the end of a dirt road in Ozark, Missouri, at the end of the road on a party line. So when the phone would ring, like, you and the 7 other people who lived on that road would all pick up the phone at the same time because you never knew who they were calling for. And sometimes you would get nosy neighbors that would just hang on the line and listen to the conversation, even though it wasn't meant for them. Yeah, I am oldish. Anyway, the funniest thing to me about that thing, Morpheo, is if you want to get technical about it, my generation, Gen X, and the boomers are the ones who built video games into existence. Like, there were no video games really before the boomer generation and before Gen X. So if you look at all of the people who have built the franchises that have become big things today, like Bethesda's been around for, as an example, because we're playing Starfield, Bethesda's been in business for 40 years now. Who are the people who were building games 40 years ago? The people who are now in their 60s. The boomers. The boomer generation built the first games that Bethesda Game Studios published, right? Who built the second and third generation of games that they published? Gen X, my generation. So if you look at the people who built video games into existence, the earliest versions of Ultima, right? The earliest versions of Dungeons and Dragons, the earliest versions of all of these franchises and games. Star Wars, created by a boomer, right? Like, although technically he might be slightly before the boomer generation because he's older. Anyway, there is a component to it where the individuals making those types of commentary are so uneducated, and it's kind of like that's the only language they know is to call somebody a boomer because they just don't have any frame of reference. It's kind of like if you can imagine trying to have a conversation with a dog. What does a dog know? Food good, rough, rough, rough. Me like bed, make me sleep. Comfy. Oh, more food. Rough, rough, rough. Cat. Like a dog, if you were to be able to talk to a dog, the vocabulary of the dog would be so limited that some of what it says would be complete nonsense, and you would just be like, it's a dog. That's how they talk. So when I hear the younger generation talk about, you're not allowed to talk about video games, boomer. Shut up and play the game. I think it's just a case of kids who are just so uneducated and so young that they just don't know anything, or it's adults who have grown up with a child mentality and have never learned how to interact with other people in the real world. It's this gets back into, you got to have a thick skin if you're going to be feed me Seymour. I think this goes into you got to have a thick skin if you're going to be in this industry, as a content creator, streamer, but also if you're going to be like anybody who's in games. Oh, your comment got auto-held, Detroit. I didn't catch it in time. At what age does one achieve the boomer title? I would love to know that. For me, it was like 2 years ago. I noticed everybody started calling me a boomer, and it was like, I'm not. You know, I'm not a boomer. But yeah. Kids these days are as thick as castle walls. I'm not surprised they don't even know the correct label when trying to insult people. Was I around for big brick phones? I was. Yeah. Calling me a boomer because I'm not a kid. Your vision about games is outdated. You only complain and make boomer games. By the way, Morpheo, were those comments on like my Crimson Desert videos? I'm thinking, because I know I've been getting a ton of pushback on some of my Crimson Desert stuff. Draken says boomer basically just means old at this point. Correct. So I get called boomer all the time, and I get called unk and Gramps. Yeah, it was the Crimson Desert video with the static NPCs. Oh yeah, that one in particular. So for reference, the other day I published a short content. It was during my Crimson Desert stream from like 3 mornings ago. There was this big fight scene where all of my allies came with me, and we got pushed into this massive battle with hundreds of NPCs on screen. And as I'm going through killing waves and waves and waves of mobs, I suddenly stop and I realize none of the NPCs are doing anything. Like they're all visually attacking each other, but no one's dying. And so then I just sat there on stream for several minutes and was like, look, we're just gonna wait and see if this timer, if this percentage ever goes down, because it's a kill quest. Like you have to keep just grinding away, killing mobs, and the percentage goes down to 0, right? And it just doesn't go down. Like there's nothing going on. And so I was talking about, and I was like, these are static NPCs. They're tanking the frames. They're not doing anything. And if you look at a game like Assassin's Creed Valhalla or Ghost of Yotei or other games, you could point Shadows of War, Shadows of Mordor, like many other games will have, if there are other NPCs who have followed you into the battle, they will contribute to the fight. So if you stop for a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes or whatever, they will keep fighting and that percentage will keep going down. It won't go fast, but they will contribute in some way, shape, or form. And the NPCs do not contribute in Crimson Desert. So I made a short about it, purposefully doing a rage bait video. I'm very good at those, by the way. That's how you make lots of money and get lots of followers on social media. You make rage bait content because it makes little children rage into the chat. And they can't control themselves because they have no impulse control. We've covered this before in previous videos. And that's where you make good money, and you get lots of interaction, you get viral content. It's very easy to create rage bait content. It's not hard because, as Emmerich Voss said, and this is my favorite quote of all time from a video game, Emmerich Voss in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle said, "The easiest thing to manipulate is an insecure male." And he's not wrong. The easiest thing in the world to manipulate is an insecure male. And if you know what buttons to push, you could literally just push out a piece of content and just let it do its thing, and you're going to get thousands of comments on it. So that video in question did exactly that. And if you read through the comments on Instagram and TikTok, it is probably 90%. It's like overwhelmingly comments about how you just want the game to play itself, Gramps. You just don't want to actually play the game, Unk. What a loser boomer take. You don't want to actually play the game. Go back to Call of Duty, Gramps. Like, there's just all of these like overwhelmingly negative comments pushing the video higher and higher and higher and getting me lots of followers, and it's great. But if you look at the commentary, it is overwhelmingly negative. And it's all young people using the terminology Gramps, Unk, Boomer, and insulting me for not knowing how to play, not wanting to play, etc. When really all I'm doing is critiquing the fact that the NPCs aren't doing anything when other games do it very well, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Yotei, etc., where your companions will contribute. The thing is I think there is a certain, like, there are some people who don't want to ever. This gets into, these are people who live their life based on headlines. They will never go read the source material. They'll never go check the actual press release. They will only rely upon the headline or the caption of the thing that is on screen, right? They won't ever actually listen to the conversation. They won't ever click the link. I had a guy yesterday on TikTok as an example. I do clips. That's all I use TikTok and Instagram for, are clips. This mentality is exactly what I'm getting at. He said, "Could you please stop posting content on your TikTok that cuts off right when the conversation is getting good? I don't want to watch long-form content. I want you to explain it to me here in a short-form video." And I responded back and said, "No, I will never do that, because TikTok and Instagram for me are all, that's what they're there for, short-form clips. I'm always going to cliffhang you, and in the link, I'm going to link you out to my YouTube channel where the long-form 15, 20-minute video exists, because that's where I make my money. I will never, ever create short-form content to feed your little pea brain, because you can't handle a 15-minute discussion with adults, because your life exists around 60-second sound bites and headlines and short-form content. TikTok rot is a real thing. Like, TikTok brain rot is a real thing. And the people making those comments about how boomers don't know how to play, like, you don't know what real games are all about, you don't know how to play games, that's literally TikTok rot. That's the Gen Alpha, if you want to generalize. The Skyrim book one got a lot of pushback too, because there were so many people who were like, "If I want to read a book, I'll go to the library. This is the stupidest thing ever." Oh shit, my brother's in chat over on TikTok. He said, "I just unsubscribed because you took too long to get to the point." That is my brother, by the way, guys, over at TikTok. I just unsubbed because you took too long to get to the point. By the way, guys, since my brother's in chat, I haven't told him this. He sent me a clip the other day that we're going to turn into a video on YouTube, because he started playing Baldur's Gate 3 for the first time with his high school buddies. And he sent me a hilarious video the other day because I don't think he knew about the choices. And his buddies have played Baldur's Gate 3 before, and he has not. And so he's been role-playing his character, and he kicked a squirrel, and let the kid die at the druid ring, and it's some funny shit. I'll have to play the message for you at some point because I do want to make a video about it. It's really funny, and I hope I get more clips like that from him because I could turn that into YouTube gold. Farm my brother out for free content. Because it is really funny to hear about like first time Baldur's Gate 3 experiences. Like his friends just having a meltdown because he let the druid lady kill the kid for stealing the idol. I'm just like anyway, I think to go back to Morpheo's Renfail rant, yeah, I think that's just what we're describing, what you were describing in the comments section is just that's the TikTok brain rot generation. I don't think they understand anything about video games at all. They don't know who built video games into the industry that they are today. They don't understand the evolution of industry. You know, it's just one of those things where you kind of just accept that commentary is going to happen in your videos anytime you talk about something that is even remotely requiring more than 2 brain cells, because they don't have 2 brain cells to understand the conversation, so their only reaction is, You're an old man! Stop playing games, old man! It's that kind of commentary. Like that dipshit on TikTok right now who's like, can you shut up and just play the game, please? That is literally what we're talking about right there, is that type of commentary. Stop talking and play the game. Don't make long form content. I can't handle it. I want everything to be 30-second sound bites. Meh. Yeah. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff happening with why people have that conversation, but you just ignore them. It's kind of like when I was talking to John, the head of Fallout 76 at dinner the other night. Like all the people who send him death threats on Twitter X every single day because he is the creative director of Fallout 76, and they didn't patch the things he didn't patch the things that they wanted him to patch, and they send him death threats. I get death threats every single day too over stupid stuff. Like it's literally will be. I literally was showing you guys this morning. I posted that anniversary. The anniversary pictures. They're not actually anniversary pictures. It was just I felt like celebrating my wife yesterday, and so I posted a collage photo of my wife, 4 different pictures of us from over the years, from 2011 up to 2026, 15 years of being together, 4 images. Posted that out, and I wake up this morning and like 99% great comments on all my social media, and then on YouTube I have one held comment that says, "This idiot would leave his wife at a heartbeat to suck Todd Howard's dick if he got Elder Scrolls 6 beta access." And it's like, why? Why do you even need to make that comment? Why? What compelled, in what purpose did that comment serve other than to give you a sick sense of what? Did you feel superior when you made that comment? Like what was the thought process? And then you realize there is no thought process because there's nothing going on up here. So when I hear people say things like, stop playing games, boomer, stop playing games, Gramps, it's like, I think you just accept that that's the generation that is growing up and learning how to use words. And just like you ignore what the toddler says when they're like, goo goo gaga, food, I like food, goo goo gaga. When you have a little 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old trying to learn how to use words, they say things that they don't understand. They don't understand the context. They just, shit comes out of their mouth because their little baby brains can't use big words. That's how I imagine it. Whether or not it's real or not, it's the world we live in. Michaela said that's what happened to Grandpa Gaming. The backseating was too much. Oh, you know who else it happened to recently? Josh Strife Hayes. Some of you might know who he is. He abandoned his Mass Effect playthrough. He had never played the Mass Effect games, and he was playing... He made it through the first 2 games, and he got to the 3rd game, and he abandoned his playthrough because of how toxic the fucking chat was. Go watch his video on why he abandoned his Mass Effect 3 playthrough. It is hilarious. He quit his playthrough, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he quit his playthrough because the chat wouldn't stop backseating, telling him what to do, how to play, what decisions to make. You know, being upset that he wasn't playing the game the way they wanted him to play the game, and it basically ruining his streaming experience to the point where he's like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not gonna play this game anymore. Y'all fucking ruined it. I'm gonna go play other things because I can't sit here and listen to you guys bitch about how I want to make my own decisions and play the game that I want to play. There is an aspect to online anything. If you do something in the online space, whether you're streaming or doing content creation, you are going to have low IQ dipshits who fill your commentary, who fill your stream channels, and it's just the cesspools of the world. These are the incels that we talk about all the time. They don't have anybody in their lives that love them. They live in their mom's basements. They've never touched another human being in their lives. They don't have any affection. Nobody loves them. They are miserable people, and they want everybody else to be miserable like them. And so the only thing that comes out of their mouths is miserable shit. It's low IQ misery. And you just kind of go, just ignore it. You just got to ignore it and move on. Or you could do what I do, and you can clip that shit out and make lots of money off of it. Cha-ching! Which is what we're going to do with this Renfell rant. So thanks for that, Morpheo. That's always a good rant. Always good to have a good rant to farm out on YouTube and beyond. And trigger a bunch of incels to rage chat. You're wrong! Let me tell you how you're wrong, Gramps! Shut up, Boomer! And now I gotta get caught up on chat now because there was a whole bunch of chat that went through. And then I'm gonna need more coffee. Natty Dread says, as a fellow Gen Xer, loving this missive, sir. Am I done with Crimson Desert? What did I play this morning? You can't see my chin. What did I play this morning? There's your answer. Morpheus says, it's funny they think they can harm you with words, but you have life experience and are completely unfazed by insults. It's the same people who make fun of my hairline. And I always am like, you do realize that I'm also balding and I have super thin eyebrows, right? Like, your insults have to mean something. You have to give a fuck for insults to harm you. You have to give a fuck. It's like, you literally think, like, my wife just cut my hair 2 days ago. This is the haircut my wife gave me. She is the only person I give a shit about pleasing. If she likes the way I look, then I don't give a fuck. You can literally... I had a guy the other day who literally created an account on Twitter, and it's called Renfail Troll, and then he had a screenshot of from my eyes up to my forehead. That was the profile photo, was my balding forehead, right? And he created an account called Renfail, and I'm like... that you can't even, like, that's the best you could do? Is make fun of my shiny forehead. That's the best you've got. All the neurons firing off in your brain, and the best thing that's the best you've got is to make fun of my hairline? Like, god damn, I feel sorry for you. Like, before the internet, if you said shit like that, you get a smack and never say it again. Yeah, you definitely get punched in the mouth for sure. Detroit says, I had a guy whose Twitch name was the ending of God of War Ragnarok who came into my chat the night of release. Oh yeah, people will do that stuff all the time. We used to get in the beginning of my YouTube, people would try to get creative with usernames to try to get around like racism and stuff like that. But YouTube and Twitch have gotten much better about like policing usernames now. People will still get creative and try to create stupid usernames. But yeah. All right, I'm caught up on that chat. I'm caught up on that chat. I'm caught up on that chat. Now I'm going to go over to YouTube and catch up on YouTube chat. Keyboard warriors have morphed into tablet soldiers. Bubbleonia says, if party lines existed in 2026, would all 7 families ignore the phone at the exact same time? That's a good question. I think that's a great question. Sweet Pea says, it feels to me like the people that love Starfield played outside and built forts with blankets and pieces of wood they found in the woods. I do think that there is an element of the people who like Bethesda games in general are the people who grew up with Bethesda games. So Todd Howard has talked about this in multiple places where he's like, we have a formula, we have fans who like our formula, and we're going to keep making that formula. And I think that's really what it comes down to is they have an existing fan base who has grown up with their games, who continue to buy their games, and new fans come to the table every single year. So Bethesda's in a very good position of, it's like the John Goodman quote I love to use from The Gambler, the position of fuck you. Like Bethesda's in a very good position of, it doesn't matter what you think. We make the games we want to make because our fan base buys those games. Our fan base grows every year. We don't have to listen to the whiny little bitches of the internet, so fuck you. I'm paraphrasing because I know that Bethesda can't say those types of things, but I can. You can make many different things with the workbenches in this game, Tim Horn. It's a lot of fun. Ewok says we live in a matrix. Correct. These kids should understand that our generation was the one who invented video games. Yep. People love titles. A certain demographic of people love titles for sure. Dribrom says people use words like boomers without knowing what it means. Yeah, it's the Unc Gramps thing. Have I done much with Outposts? Not in this particular playthrough. I have in the past. I have videos on the Outpost builds that I've done and an Outpost building series on YouTube. Got a genuine Rayon says noob question. Just got a second ship. How do I change it? How do I change to it? You got to go to any ship services guy at a landing pad and go visit him. Deja Vu answered you as well. Visit a ship services technician at major ports and select I'd like to view and modify my ships. Then make the second ship your home ship. Matthew Green says my nephews are the same. They like to skip the cutscenes, they can't be bothered with the story, and always say they don't understand what's happening, and then they quit playing. Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother type of player. Yeah. That's a lot of words. Too bad I'm not reading them. That's exactly what that is. Dark Shadow says they're jealous you have a wife and doing better in life than they are. Yes, absolutely. Johnny31 says, when you went to Bethesda, did you get any info on Starborn DLC? No. The only information that I got was related to Free Lanes and Terran Armada. Makia says, Josh Strife Hayes is still doing WoW Classic. the Burning Crusade, but has had so many trolls. He is still playing, but banning a lot of people chatting. Yeah, I saw his WoW Classic stuff, and I felt really bad that he got ran out of Mass Effect 3 because of toxic chat. That sucks. How was meeting Mortissimal? Mortissimal is cool, man. Like, kind of a quiet, reserved dude. I found out we were both born in the same city, which is a really small place in Missouri. So I think, it was a little bit of a, I don't want to say bonding, but it gave us a starting point to talk about things. So he was a cool dude. Like, everybody I met, all the content creators I met at Bethesda were really cool. I didn't know any of them. I had only heard, I knew Mortissimal. I had never heard of the other people. I think it was Sarth, Juicehead. I don't remember everybody's names now. I'm horrible with names. I would have to go look at all the people that were there. But there was like 6 or 7 of us, I think, that got invited. They were all super cool people. Yeah, really, everybody who was there because they loved Bethesda games. It was that simple. Like, there was like 6 or 7 content creators and like 3 or 4 press. It was a very small group, like less than a dozen, I think. Bubbling says Sweet Pea is a VC and her outposts are amazing. Nice. Sweet Pea, you're on the upcoming podcast that's airing. Or did it already air? Or is that the one that's coming out? I could swear that he said that I could have sworn his announcement. I think you were on a Starfield podcast. I think it was the first episode. I know I've been invited on the episode that's coming out on the 15th, I think. Pedro's Starfield podcast. I'd have to go look at emails and stuff now. It was on Wednesday? Yeah, it was the one that just aired. That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, Fallout 4 was hated. Skyrim was hated when it came out. Yeah, I need to go watch the episode that you were just on, Sweet Pea, so that I understand the format. Because obviously I have an email that said, this is the format. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't normally do things. But I was like, you know what? It's right at the end of my day. It's like, that's fine. I was like, I'm not going to be streaming when we do that. Because I think it's like 6:30 my time. I'm in bed by like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So it's like, that'll be a fun thing for me to go do. Hop on somebody's Starfield podcast. As like an end of day thing when I'm half asleep and have fun with some other Starfield fans and then go to sleep. Because most of the time people will invite me to do things and it's in the middle of my like day streams and it's like, unfortunately I can't because I'm busy. So it was one I could actually participate in because it happened after my streams. Even if it's a trash game, I'll still buy it because I love Bethesda. I mean, Bethesda doesn't make trash games, but yeah, I think that there are companies I will buy all of their games just because I love their DNA. BioWare, Larian Studios, Bethesda. I mean, yeah, just anything Star Wars, anything Star Trek. Oh yeah, the moment you say you love a game in public, you immediately get accused of being a paid shill and my favorite response to that is I am a paid shill for every single game that I play because I get paid to play. I make advertising revenue no matter what game I play. I get membership revenue and subscription revenue and book sales and merch sales from every single game I play. So I am a paid shill for every single game that I play. So That's not the insult you think it is when you accuse me of being a paid shill. It is an accurate description of what my day job is. I do get paid to play video games. I am 100% a paid shill. I skipped Star Trek Resurgence because it was a wall of text, and I don't really like playing games where I have to read walls of text. It looked amazing, and I really wanted to play it, and then I saw Dan's Gaming playing it, and it was like, oh no, it doesn't have voice acting. I'm not gonna. I don't really play any games on stream if they don't have a lot of voice acting, because I can't. I'm already interacting with chat, and trying to read walls of text is just, it kills my voice, so I don't play those games. I think I bought from her 2 recently. Where the fuck am I gonna find titanium?
Appreciate the business.
Probably need to go to Neon.
I am not trying to pester you, but
I may be thinking about the one that just came out, the Voyager one.
What? Really? Wasn't that included?
Is
in the trip
Resurgence
from
was the
last
one that came out
no.
last
That
year or
was
the year
thing
before?
should
No, I did not play it. I can't remember why I didn't play that one.
Okay, I'll try and remember. I swear, lately I feel like I'm spending more time at Galbank than I am here.
I think I was super busy with stuff. Alright, let's go see if the UC Distribution Center has any. By the way, I totally forgot to go get more coffee. Yeah, Resurgence was the one that came out a couple of years ago. I'm thinking of the Voyager one that just came out when I answered that question.
Bulk items may require multiple levels of
I was
approval and can
busy
take up
when
to several
Resurgent
weeks
came
for an
out
official
in
response. We
2024.
apologize for
So
any delay.
May
Welcome
was
to
when
UC
I had my
Distribution.
fall,
Something I can
and
do
I
for
ripped
you?
my leg. And I also then went to help my brother move in June. So the end of May into the middle of July, I was super busy in 2024 and did not play it because of that reason.
Oh, well, certainly.
There's only been one DLC for Starfield, Tori, so yeah. Do you have titanium? There's an upcoming one that's about to drop. Titanium. By the way, fuck it, we're gonna buy everything that she's got here. There has only been one DLC for Starfield called Shattered Space, which came out a year and a half ago. And the second DLC, Terran Armada, is dropping on April 7th, along with the Free Lanes update and the PS5 launch on Tuesday. Ocular says, if things ever slow down, you're looking for an enjoyable Star Trek game to play, I can recommend. I remember getting good reviews. I think it just was one of those things
Come
where
back if you need something
I
else.
didn't catch it because it came out when I was busy. I tend to go back and play games like that around Christmas time, because usually around the holidays, usually around Christmas, like a week before Christmas is like the last new release of the year. And I'll usually get from Christmas to the end of January, there's usually no new releases that happen. And so that's usually when I get to go back and replay things that I've played before for nostalgia's sake. Like a year and a half ago, we went and did the whole Mass Effect series. This past Christmas, I played Skyrim for the first time. I played a boatload of Fallout 76 for the first time. Played a boatload of Elder Scrolls Online. So this holiday season, I will be looking at things like that. So as we get closer to the holiday season, I will definitely be open to suggestions for things like that. To be like, hey, here's this 15-hour game you could add, and play really quickly over Christmas or something. The DLCs for Bethesda games are usually not things that have to be played in any order. You can play them whenever you want. So you can play the base game, and if you like the base game, go forth and then purchase the DLC. But there's no, like, you have to play this in a certain order. Alright, there was 2 more mods that I wanted to do on this thing. Yeah, it was this. Oh yeah, give me that. Give me that max damage. 3 mods, sorry, there was 3 mods. That one was that. Oops, go back to this. I want overclocked, baby. And then receiver, I want fully automatic. Oh, or do I want semi-automatic? That's a boatload of damage. No. I want full auto. God damn, that is a huge difference in damage, though. I hate once per trigger pull, though. I already have a sniper rifle for that shit. Full auto. Alright, let's go try this gun out really quick. Gosh darn it, where did it go? Dun. There it is. Okay. Equip. Thanks for the resub over on Twitch, Ocular. Appreciate it. Alright. Here we go. Let's try this bad boy out. And those set targets on fire. So it's like the explosive bolts, the explosive bursts, explosive rounds that you get for the other guns. These are like laser burn rounds. Oh, I need to go into space and try this bad boy out on a 0G. Shit. What does it look like third person? Oh, baby. Can I manage to get... I need better lighting, but I tell you what, that is a sexy ass gun. Let's hang on, let me stash everything in the chest here. God, I'm so not used to using third person here. This is going to be the one thing I'm going to miss about playing from scratch on the PS5 is this character has all my, like, I have rank 4 weapon modding, rank 4 spacesuit modding. I've maxed out all of the research. Do you know how much of a fucking grind it was to max out all of my research? Maybe I haven't maxed out. It says I have a couple of things not completed. But I think it's for like chemistry and food. But all my outpost development, or excuse me, equipment and weaponry, like that was a shitload of grinding. Yeah, see, I didn't do blades because I never do melee. This is part of the, 550 plus hours that I have in the game is like that kind of stuff. And I gotta not think about it. It's like the cool part about that is making the guides as I go along because those will make good money on YouTube. So just don't think about it. Just go do it, man. Just keep your head down. Nose to the grindstone. It's gonna be fun. All right, I need better lighting. This is not good lighting. It's nighttime. We gotta go sit down and pass the time. I need daytime lighting. I'm gonna go screenshot with that gun.
Your safe return to the lodge will please the other members of Constellation.
Oh, because that's what I live for, buddy, is pleasing the other members of the lodge. What time is it? It's 7. Let's rest 12 hours. Let's do 14. Did I find the limitless gun in Fallout 4? Nope. Cyber Eyes says, been watching your TikToks about Starfield. I'm thinking about getting on the PS5. I heard that the game isn't good. Good luck with that. I'll never tell you that the game is something you should buy. I can tell you that I have fun playing this game. It is my favorite Bethesda game, but I'm not going to be telling you whether or not you should purchase something. You are an adult. Otherwise, you wouldn't have an account speaking to me on Twitch. So as an adult, you have critical thinking skills, which you can apply. The way you do that is by going and watching content creators who actually play the game. Not the people who tell you not to play the game. Because how the fuck are the people who tell you not to play a game going to know if the game is actually good or not, if they're not actively playing the game? So all you got to do is go out there and look at the people who are playing Starfield, go listen to Starfield podcasts, watch people streaming Starfield, and you'll be able to determine for yourself whether or not this is a game that you might like to enjoy playing. But I will never tell you that you should or shouldn't buy something, because that is a big boy decision that you got to make for yourself, or a big girl decision. I don't know if you're a big boy or a big girl, but you got to put those big boy, big girl pants on and make that decision for yourself. I may need to go. Let's see here. The problem is she's going to be right in my way. I may want to get up on the rooftop to get a better screenshot. Oh, I forgot about the poses, too. Yeah, but those don't take into account your weapon. I do have a pose with Andreja in one of my screenshots. Alright, I want to get a shot with the tower up in the background. Oh, I lost my jetpack sound effects again. I always want to know what does that. Here we go. This might be a good place. Let's get past the... Yeah, I think I'd be better off if I'm aiming it. Alright. I still don't like this POV. Micaiah says, I love KCD 1 and 2, but I can't stand watching someone else play it. Alright. Thanks, Sweet Pea, for joining on YouTube. Man, this may not give me the POV that I wanted. Okay, Leroy. Don't break your leg. Don't break your leg. Oh, I don't think I broke my leg. Is that going to work? That might be something interesting. Ooh, with the gal bank in the background. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, I can make that work. Okay. Toggle menu. Take picture. That's one. And that is two. All right, now we need one down with our ship. Please don't make me regret this decision. We are missing the sound effects for our jetpack. That started happening yesterday. I'm not sure what it is. You gotta reload. Let me get down over here. I want to get on top of the... By the way, do trees act as colliders? I've never tried to land on a tree and accidentally break my leg or something. Alright. Should be able to get a sweet shot of my ship right here. Okay. Okay. I don't really want the edge of the roof there. That is a pretty good shot right there. Oh, yeah, baby. Look at that right there. Oh, I'm clipping into the roof here. It's not going to let me pan down the way I want. No! I think I got to bring him all the way to the edge of the roof if I want to get that shot the way I want it. Come here, buddy. Don't fall. Don't you dare fall off. Alright. And let's go here. Ah, there we go. And we're going to caption that with, like, protecting New Atlantis, one terramorph at a time. First citizen. You know? That's right, I am the first citizen. Fear my pew-pew. Alright, now let's get into, let's put the gun away. And let's get a slightly different angle here. Oh, I accidentally moved. And so I'm mid-move. Alright, we're going to do a pose here. By the way, one of the best parts about this is that these screenshots go into the loading pool for all your loading screens. There are 20 new achievements listed on Steam. Hell yeah. What's up, Studman? Love some good photo mode. I do too. I mean, if you enjoy what you see, Bamboozler, for sure. There are some rumors going around that Warhorse is building an Lord of the Rings MMO, but that's a rumor, nothing more at the moment. Do I have any thoughts? Hang on, let me read this. Do I have any thoughts on companies making legacy game franchises appeal more to casual gamers than the core audience that have supported their franchise from the first release. Here's the reality. If you are a fan like Bubbalonia, or myself, or Sweet Pea, or Thorgan, or anybody in our chat who loves Bethesda games and have been playing Bethesda games for decades and will play all Bethesda games and will continue to play Bethesda games until we are in the grave or Bethesda no longer exists as a company, those are the only people that Bethesda needs to worry about. That's it. Now, the grumpy nostalgia gamers who will claim things like they're not the same company that made Skyrim. The Bethesda no longer makes good games. They haven't made a good game since 2002. Bethesda just doesn't know how to make a good game. I haven't liked Bethesda since whatever. They'll insert a date and they'll say that the company hasn't made a good game since then. And that the biggest one is the Fallout, the angry anti-fans around Fallout, who will say stupid shit like, there's no point to the Fallout TV show. There's no point to Fallout 76. Like they'll say things like that. Fallout 76 isn't a real Fallout game. There hasn't been a good Fallout game since Fallout 3. The show is stupid. Why is Bethesda wasting their time? Those aren't Bethesda fans. What Bethesda wants are people that are excited about the franchises that they own and fans who want to come in and join the rest of us. Those are the only people that Bethesda needs to give a shit. The rest of them are big fat losers who don't fucking matter. So, no, I don't ever think about that or waste breath on those people because they're never happy with anything. Fuck them. Alright, let's get me a good pose here. Why is there a laser beam coming out of my PP? I can make that work. But let's keep cycling through the poses. Ooh. I gotta turn the character though. Perseverance, that's a good one. I need to turn. To be honest with you, I should be standing over there. And put the gun away. And I should be facing, like, oh, she's going to be right in the way, isn't she? Oh, I don't play fighting games, so I can't, I have no frame of reference for that. Perseverance, there it is. Get the rover in the shot too. Pull out just a little bit. The Fallout show is awesome. What's my favorite games to play right now? The one I'm playing. That's why I'm here playing it. Alright, I think we've taken plenty of good screenshots, no? Some good screenies that we can use in various places. The one that I saw, I haven't, man, it was probably 3 months ago. When was it was December when the Fallout show was airing, right? So yeah, like 3 months ago, 3-4 months back. I made a video about this. Excuse me. There was a girl who I saw a TikTok video of. It had gone viral. She was a new Fallout fan, and she became a Fallout fan because of the show. She had never played a Fallout game before, and she watched the show, came away from the show and went, "Oh, this is based on a video game franchise? What Fallout games exist that I can go play?" And she immediately found Fallout 76, the most recent Fallout game to release. And she started playing Fallout 76 and started streaming Fallout 76 on her channel. And oh my god, the amount of hate and vitriol in her comments. So she made a video about people who were hating on her, and all the comments that she was going through were the people saying things like this: "This isn't a real Fallout game. You shouldn't be playing Fallout 76 because it's not a real Fallout game. What the fuck are you doing playing Fallout 76? Go play a real Fallout game. Go play New Vegas. Go play Fallout 3. Go play Fallout 4. You're not allowed to be, you're not allowed to play this game." And she's like, "Guys, I love the Fallout show. I'm having fun playing Fallout. Why are you guys trying to ruin my fun? Like, what is wrong with you?" Like, her video was literally her saying, "What is wrong with you ruining this experience for me? Like, I loved this show. I come away from the show and I see there's all these Fallout games that I want to play, and maybe I'll eventually get to them and play them all. But right now, I wanted to play Fallout 76. I'm having fun playing Fallout 76. Why does it matter to you that I'm having fun playing this game? And why are you hating on me for doing this?" And I was just like, she's not wrong. Like, it is the assholes of the world will just drag you down to the bottom of the bucket if you let them. Which is why we banned those people from our chat immediately. And she was banning people from her chat too. It's just like, the moment people start claiming like this isn't a real X game, it's not a real Star Wars game, it's not a real Middle Earth game, it's not a real Lord of the Rings, it's not a real Fallout, it's not a real whatever. Those are not actual fans. Those are not actual fans of anything. Those are anti-fans. Those are toxic anti-fan gatekeepers. It just, bleh. Get them out. Don't listen to them. Disney Star Wars isn't real Star Wars. Paramount Star Trek isn't real Star Trek. Rings of Power isn't real Lord of the Rings. Fallout 76 isn't a real Fallout game. Am I done modding things? I'm done modding things. And we've got a couple of really good video clips already. And if you didn't check it, we've already got tomorrow morning's beginner's guide for the PS5 is already prepped and ready to go, out for channel members. Going over backgrounds and perks for character creation, which was a requested video. Lucas says, "Gonna play Starfield for the very first time on the PS5. I'm hyped." Nice. Enjoy it. It's a good game.
Yeah?
Paul from Leicester says, "Really enjoying your Starfield videos and streams. Off work next week, so the PS5 release is perfectly timed." Hell yeah. Yeah. I love the photo mode in this game, by the way, Studman. It's good stuff.
Can I help?
Sarah, I don't want you to help me with anything. You're too vanilla for me this run, sweetheart. But we did have fun that one time in that one universe, and I'll never forget it.
Yes?
Pre-download starts in 2 days. Indeed. That's right, Steve. 76 is a good game. Bamboozler says, "Fallout is an amazing franchise. I've played them all, including 1 and 2, which I tell everyone to play." Bubbles, are you still doing your? I'm sorry, you've been on vacation, so I'm not sure if you're still doing your. I know you just got back from vacation. Are you still doing your Fallout 1 playthrough? I am going to go all in, by the way, on Starfield when it launches on the PS5. So normally I do 2 streams a day and I play 2 games. I'll play 1 game in the morning, 1 game in the afternoon. No, I'll be going all in on Starfield when it launches on Tuesday. So we will be playing something else on the morning of the 7th because it won't go live. I think it's rumored to go live around 9 a.m. Central my time, 11 a.m. Pacific. 11 a.m. Eastern. I think is when everything goes live on the PS5. But I don't know if there's going to be any patches or anything else. So we will be playing something else the morning of the 7th. But once Starfield is live, I will be only playing Starfield for like a week and a half, like from the 7th until the 14th, however many days that is. 8 days or something. For both stream sessions. We're going all in because I got a lot of grinding to do. Like we got to get our ship points. We got to get everything skilled up. I got to get my weapon modding, and we got a lot of work to do. So it's going to be only Starfield for like a week or so. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure it's like 11 a.m. Central. Excuse me, not 11 a.m. Central, like 11 a.m. My PlayStation actually told the estimated 9 a.m. Pacific, or 9 a.m. God damn it. 9 a.m. Central, which is my time. It told me estimated 9 a.m. my time, which is 11 a.m. Eastern. If I had heard anything about the Elder Scrolls 6, I would have said so. But I didn't, so I can't. Sorry, I got invited for a Starfield event. That's what it was all about. There was a Fallout 76 presentation with John, the creative director, and a really badass presentation from King Ath Creations on the creation program for verified creators and the future of that program, which was I really wish King Ath had like that presentation to show to everybody because it was a dope ass presentation. And I think a lot of people like myself who didn't really know that much about the creation stuff beforehand would look at that creations aspect of all the Bethesda games with a completely different viewpoint if they saw that presentation from King Ath. It was pretty fucking amazing. But no Elder Scrolls 6 anything. It was stuff that we have. Yeah, there was definitely stuff that you guys haven't seen yet. So Tim Lamb did like I think it was like 40 minutes, 45 minutes of hands-on. He was the one playing. We were all just in the theater watching, right? But he was doing he was playing the game for us and going through some stuff that he had prepared, but then he was taking questions and showing us stuff based on the questions. So he was playing it live for us. There was some cool stuff. Like obviously we've hit all the bullet points. So like here's an example. We know that there is an asteroid base coming with free lanes, right? Like they've shown a couple of teaser images of that base. But he did like a full walkthrough tour of that base that no one else has seen other than us. It was fucking awesome. It was awesome. And then he did a really in-depth like walkthrough of the weapon modding system for the X-Tech stuff, which was really cool, which is way deeper than anything they've shown on any of the teaser snippets. He was doing all sorts of fun stuff in free lanes, like in cruise mode. That is they've only briefly scratched on, and you know there's tons of stuff they haven't even talked about to anybody that they're keeping under the hood, under the visor, nudge nudge, wink wink. One of the things I really appreciated about watching him play through cruise mode was all the new, so like there's obviously all the old stuff that you could come across, like the grandmother in her ship, and the people who need help, and the school kids who are on their tour, and all that other stuff. But then there's all the new stuff, like the incursions, and like you can get pulled out of cruise mode, and it's like there's different types of alarms that sound based on what's happening while you're in cruise mode. So there's one alarm that you're coming up on your destination. There's another alarm that something has popped up that's a POI that you're going to want to investigate. There's another one where you're being ambushed and you're dropping out of cruise mode. So there's all these different things that can happen while you're in cruise mode. That they've definitely not shown that in the footage yet. No, actually, the funny thing is, like, security was like we had escorts to go to the bathroom and at Bethesda. Like, if anybody had to go to the bathroom, like, there were escorts that would take us to the bathroom to make sure that nobody was sneaking off and trying to take pictures of anybody working. Because, like, everybody there, I think pretty much everyone other than, I'm pretty sure John said there was like 10 or 12 people there who work on Fallout 76, but everybody else is working on Elder Scrolls 6. So, no, they definitely had escorts that were like, this is the bathroom. Come on, guys. Come on. No, don't wander off. You can't go over there. Come on over here. Like, it was definitely a guided, the entry lobby area, we were free to walk around in on the first floor. Took all the pictures. I've still got a bunch of screenshots and stuff I've never posted. Like, I've got shorts and stuff that I've recorded. I just never got around to posting them. They'll be coming. But then once you go up to the second floor, it's like that's where all the devs are working. So it's like, yeah, there's clearly, everybody's behind cubicles, and you can kind of see over the top, and everybody's got like the cool ways. Like, one thing I will say I really appreciated was, like, I was walking with Bo. Bo is one of their PR guys, and there was somebody on a corner desk had a bunch of Star Wars starships on like the top of their desk that you could see above like the cubicle walls. And so it was really cool to see the way that people had personalized their workspace. And to see a huge Star Wars fan, I was like, that is so fucking dope, because they had like 7 or 8 figures mounted on top of their shelf is on their desk. But it was definitely like, yeah, it was a guided experience of being like, you guys go to the bathroom, it's this way, come on, come on, through here. And then they waited, and then it was escort us back, because there were definitely, people can go off the beaten path and try to sneak screenshots and everything else, and photos, and yeah, Elder Scrolls 6 is tightly under wraps. And also, I've got an NDA that's like the size of a Bible that I signed that, for everything that was, whatever I've been allowed to say, I've said. And I think beyond that point, I can confirm that I saw nothing about Elder. Like, I'm not being evasive when I say that. Like, literally, I saw nothing about Elder Scrolls 6. Like, it was all about Starfield, and then a small Fallout 76 presentation, and King Gath Creations. So. But I can't wait for Elder Scrolls 6. And I keep telling people, like, I love Starfield. This has become my favorite Bethesda game because of its science fiction. But I guarantee you, if the Elder Scrolls 6 is anything like this game, like, as good as Skyrim was, knowing that the next Elder Scrolls game is being made on Creation Engine 3, and I already know for a fact that the moment Elder Scrolls 6 drops, that will probably become my favorite Bethesda game of all time. And I am going to go all in. And I will lose my soul along with everybody else in the world, because it's the next Elder Scrolls game. I can't wait. All right. I need to figure out something to do other than screenshots and weapon modding. And I need to get some more coffee here in a minute. Also, yes, no one knows about mods on the PS5 because PlayStation has rules. Nava says, is the fastest way to get XP still building a farm of high-level critters or traveling to a planet with high-level critters to pop them? I couldn't care less about XP, so I don't know. I literally don't play Starfield to get the fastest XP possible. I play Starfield because I love immersing myself in a science fiction world. And Trip Rum, I used to play Elder Scrolls games, and then I took an arrow to the knee. There's a quicker way to get to photo mode. What? Right bumper, then R3? Really? That didn't do anything. It chucked a grenade. You mean hold right bumper and then R3? Yeah, that doesn't do any of the things you're talking about. So, no, it definitely doesn't do that. Right bumper throws grenades. And R3 does a waypoint. So, your claim, little finger, it doesn't work that way for me. So, well, scanner mode is left bumper, not right bumper. Oh, you meant left bumper and then photo mode. I never knew that. So okay, so that's okay. We adjusted that. I did not know you could do that. I did not know you could do. I had never seen that on the bottom of scanner mode. So guess what? We just learned something new. That'll be a fun. We can definitely make another video out of that too. Photo mode. I never do that. See, kids, we learn something new every single day, even though we're hundreds of hours into the game. What was yesterday? Yesterday was, oh, we learned that we could rename weapons, ships, and guns, which I never knew that you could do. Mind blown. And I just learned that you can quickly access photo mode from the scanner. Holy fuck, that's so much easier than going through like 6 goddamn button presses. Oh my god! I have always done it this way. 1, 2, scroll, click, 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 click. That is so much easier. Boom, boom. 2 buttons versus 6 buttons. Jesus! I need a cup of coffee after that. Thank you for that. That's huge. That's a huge tip. Give me the tip, baby. I love the tip. I cannot wait for ship modding on my new character. Like, I was so tomorrow morning. So if you're a channel member, the video is already out on YouTube. But if you're not a channel member, tomorrow morning the video goes out at 4 a.m. It is the beginner's guide for the PS5 players for the character creation on backgrounds and traits. And I was talking about in that video. There's more of an explanation in that video, but I'm totally going to do a space scoundrel again. I'm going to recreate my space cowboy, my Captain Mal. I just had so much fun with him the first time, and I never took that character through the Unity. So I'm definitely going to recreate that character, and we are going all in on Space Cowboy, Captain Mal. I'm going to have to take Maria as a companion, just because I need to see what she does. They haven't said if you can romance her. It would be really cool if we can, but even if you can't, I just can't wait to see her as a companion to my character. It's going to be fun. I need coffee, everybody. I'll be back in a few minutes. Let's take a quick break. was also cat dinner time, so everybody's been fed. It's been a little early, actually, but Leia, as soon as I opened up my office door, Leia was like, meow, meow, meow. So I was like, you know what? It's 3:30. It's 30 minutes early, but I'll give you guys your food. So everybody has had food. I stepped outside and did my eye exercises. I got a new cup of coffee. A bounty hunter build named Pat Garrett. Oh, little historical figures. Fit right in with the folks at the Crucible. Can you dual wield pistols in Starfield? I wish you could. That would be cool as shit. I would love to be able to dual wield pistols in this game. That would rock. Have I made a video about starting out scanning Anathema, what to farm for first to get some early gear up? No, I don't usually do that kind of stuff. That gets more into the meta. Level fast, go fast, quickest way to farm gear. I don't tend to make those types of guides. All right. That gun is so cool looking. All right, we can go do beer run. That's literally the quest I thought I was going to do, and then I got sidetracked modding weapons and taking screenshots for 2 hours. I've had that screenshot since I first started playing. That's one of my favorite screenshots. That's on Cydonia on Mars. All hail the benevolent overlords.
Do we hitch our ship to the hitching post?
That is a good question, Sahima. Do we hitch our ship to the hitching post?
Word to the wise, avoid the stretch.
We're literally doing a minor quest right now.
The services tech is in the hut up at the front.
Just keep your gun holstered during this day.
I think that would be a cool little roleplay element if we could transport bounties. Because some of the ships do have jail cells in them. It would be fun to physically transport bounties. That would be a cool little feature. That could be something that would be cool to see added to the game. We're doing a beer run quest right now.
Nobody's allowed outside the city walls after nightfall. It's for their own safety.
Alright. I'm getting hungry. Doesn't help being in a kitchen that's as decked out as this one is. Damn, she's got nice... She does have a nice kitchen. And she's got taters. I gotta remind myself to go to the market tomorrow and look for sweet potatoes, because I am out of sweet potatoes.
Weston needs to get his brother. A good business person shouldn't let their personal attachments become an obstacle to success.
There must be some way to resolve this impasse with Filburn.
Well, there is. The stakes are huge. With further R&D on IntelliWheat, the entire settled systems could benefit. Surely that's worth some less than savory solutions.
Could IntelliWheat really be that much of a game changer?
Right now, it's tailored to Aquila's biomes, allowing wheat to flourish in places it normally couldn't. But if Henry applied himself, who knows where else we could grow IntelliWheat? He may be frustrating, but Henry's the smartest person I've ever met. Just don't tell him that.
Well, ending starvation's worth breaking a few eggs.
Exactly. Henry's pet project is tied to market perception. His beer, annoyingly, is really good. But if we could make a bad batch, terrible, really, his margins are tight enough he might be forced to throw in the towel.
Well, I won't poison anyone.
What? Oh god, no. I just want it to taste bad. Like stale, or like it's whatever makes beer taste worse. The next big batch of beer is almost done brewing in our factory. You just need to find a way to break in without getting caught by the guard and tamper with it somehow. Then just wait a day or so and see how the batch goes over at the Stone Root Inn. Do that, and I'll pay you handsomely. That's the last I'll talk of this.
All right. Time to do some sneaky deaky stuff. It pains me to ruin good alcohol, but it's in the name of science, so...
You really going through with it?
I get tired of being ordered around. I want to be my own boss.
But list, that's like walking a tightrope without a safety net.
I come from a line of farmers. Good ones, too. I just need a patch of land, the right lady, and we could make a good life.
And what if a spacer comes along? The Rangers won't help you out of 3-star space.
I've been practicing at the firing range. I can hold my own.
Hmm.
I've already contacted List.
About people colonizing.
Just waiting to hear back.
It can't be
A little bit of insight
right?
into List and the dangers of List, which no one's ever going to tell you when you talk to them about List. But this is a little bit of roleplay knowledge right there, because when you talk to the List NPCs, is it in Cydonia, I think, in the bar when you first meet them? They certainly don't tell you about the dangers. I don't know that it matters what we do here. Let's increase the temperature by 20. Wait 1 day.
If you're looking for a sidearm, I recommend Laredo's Firearm Factory.
And then we want to go to Stone Root Inn. All right, let's kick back on the
Work hard,
couch.
play hard. That should be the Freestar motto.
And then wait 24 hours, I'm assuming. Gray's like, I'm addicted to Crimson Desert. Nothing wrong with that, man. That's one of those games that's going to give people hundreds of hours of entertainment. It's not something that every game can do. So I'm glad you're having fun, man. And it should be doing good for you stream-wise, too, for your channel.
Hey, hold up.
A lot of famous people visit Aquila. Popping back a beer, you never know who you meet.
Henry's new batch. How'd it go over?
Yeah, I know Dribrum's been having a great time. Susanock's having a great time. It's a lot of people having fun with that game.
Late one night, Annie Wilcox tried to arrest me for public indecency.
Gladys
She'll
said
be
it
a
was
terror
fine.
when she
Then
grows
she
up.
dumped her whole glass on the floor when she thought I wasn't looking.
No.
I don't think we should carry Henry's stuff anymore. our regulars have stopped ordering his old stuff too.
I'll break the news to Henry.
Eloise can hook you up with a drink or a room. I just help out around the place. Hi there. Welcome to the Stone Root Inn.
Kate Foley, you are a cutie patootie. I might have to come back and order some drinks more frequently. I love the outfit, too.
Okay, hello.
I'm a booty man.
We got a lot of bars in the city, all class joints. Well,
Cutie patootie with the booty! Gray says, if I ever had the time, not really, probably need more content offline. Guides, sir. Guides. I have been slacking on making guides for Crimson Desert because I've been putting all my time into Starfield guides. Because like I know because I'm like you could do this, Gray. Someone asked me that video the other day about making a guide video for how to cling to the surface of the cliff when you use your hand power. There you go. There's a guide. Master of Crimson Desert, Gray. All Bethesda games feature 100% voice narration. And they are always high quality narrations. But I do believe Starfield is the biggest voice cast they've ever worked with.
IntelliWheat is revolutionary. Why waste time with brewing when you can do so much good and make so many more credits?
Henry's beer has been taken care of.
Something happened to Henry's beer?
Oh no!
That's terrible. So terrible.
So terrible.
But I'm sure I know nothing about it. Here's some credits for delivering the news. I expect that's the last I'll be seeing of you.
I'm ready. What do you need?
I need nothing. Alright, that quest is wrapped. Stratigus says I'm going to be a drunk space pirate in my next
City's
playthrough.
Really the heart of the Freestar Collective.
Alright. Last Will and Testament. I can't remember if this quest has additional content if we have Sam with us. I'm going to go switch to Sam back at the ship. Wait on. Hang on. Who are you? You look a little sketchy, bro.
Listen, no offense, but I'm swamped. Yeah? What? Or, sorry, I thought you were someone else.
Oh, you're not going to talk to me. Let's go grab Sam from the ship. Because I don't remember if this has additional dialogue if we have Sam. Oh, and Sam he wants to talk to me anyway. That's what happens when you listen to people who have never played the game, Lucas. Until now, I heard that all side quests were just fetch me X, Y with very little actual dialogue and narration. Yeah, that sounds to me exactly like people who have never played the game have made claims that they know nothing about because they've never actually played the game. I think there are a handful of fetch type quests, but for the most part, like I'm literally doing, so if you go into the missions category, I'm doing what are called missions, right? Or miscellaneous right now. Miscellaneous are one-off things, but they can lead to quest chains. Activities can be one-off things, but they almost always lead to quest chains. Main quests are always the main quests. Faction quests are always quest chains. So like coming down here in the Bounty Hunter Tracker series, there was 7 Bounty Hunter series. All of these were related to Shattered Space. There were so many quest chains that we did. Like, there is nothing but good voiceovers and narration in this game. Alright, where is Sam?
Yes?
I better track that mission. That's going to be an activity. Talk to Sam. Huh! I've never actually told Henry about the beer sabotage. We'll have to try that when I do my PS5 playthrough.
The hum of a grav drive makes me feel alive.
Alright, Sam. Let's get up to no good together.
Good call putting an end to the Serpent's Crusade. I hate to say it, because I know a lot of decent folks were lost, but it's probably for the best Anasco's experiment blew up in his face.
A lot more people, including innocents, would have died if he succeeded.
That's the thing. People can say it would have just been soldiers and they signed up for it, but war doesn't work like that. But yeah, regardless...
Fallout is not
sci-fi,
no. It is post-apocalyptic.
Halfway. And with Cora getting older, I just do not want her to be caught up in that. So I'm hoping House Dulkef sticks to their word.
Certain ships absolutely have an advantage over others, Silent Joker. City of Jersey will thrive as a result.
I don't know about thrive, but I appreciate them voting no on the Crusade. I just hope that was out of wisdom and not caution. At the end of the day, what's done is done.
Yeah, you've got hauler ships,
you saved a whole
you've got fighter ships, you've got... There's all sorts of different ships. Explorer ships.
And thanks to you, the only Crusade Cora's going to read about is in the history books.
Well, political stuff will work itself out in time.
You and me both. But something like this doesn't go away in a year. And even if the city is restored, scars will last generations. Either way, I'm not going to worry about it too much. You saved the day, and everything's good. We'll deal with any blowback when it comes.
Alright, Sam, I need you to come with me, buddy. Space Cowboy!
Is a victory in my book. It's about time. I miss the company.
Alright, Sam Coe is now my active companion.
I'm working hard, Captain.
Hey, good to hear it, kid.
Hey, how are you?
Got a book for you.
Sure.
No, I don't. Sorry, I lied. Oh, no, yes, hang on. I was in her inventory, not my inventory.
Wow!
She's so excited. I don't want to give her a Dragon Star volume. Let's give her Shadow House. There you go, kid.
Wow, thank you! See you later.
Alright, let's get out of here.
No one recognizes me here.
Well, it's a little late for that, Sammy boy. I also have the premium edition ordered on the PS5. It's gonna be good. Can't wait. First thing I'm gonna do as soon as we load up is gonna be to purchase the Trackers Alliance content and get that shit installed. And then we're gonna dive in. Yeah, she's too young to read the Lusty Argonian Mage for sure.
Seems like the Crimson Fleet is everywhere these days, spreading like a virus through the settled systems. They like to set up shop in old facilities, places abandoned in the colony.
All right. Yeah, I was definitely Cora when I was a kid. Like, books were my escape from everything.
I hope Aquila is treating you nicely.
Alright, can you tell me about the core?
The core is the oldest district and represents the original settlement dating back to the days of Solomon Coe. The descendants of the original settlers still make their home there today.
Tell me more about Frank Langston and your problem.
Frank's just the latest owner of the old Hassanove Manor.
Is what included in the premium edition?
The worst. But it's been a problem since the Hassanove family ran out of heirs. There's no wrong the Cartwrights have been trying to right for decades.
No, Trackers Alliance is not free with the premium edition. So the premium edition comes with the base game. I'm probably going to go pull up the screenshot here in a minute. It comes with the base game, Shattered Space, Terran Armada, obviously free lanes, and 1,000 credits to spend in the store. The Trackers Alliance content, I believe, costs 700 credits. So you're given enough credits to purchase the Trackers Alliance, or other things if you prefer. I like the Trackers Alliance content, so I will be purchasing that. Plus, you get some skins, the digital art book, and I think the soundtrack maybe too.
You, my friend, appear to be a deep thinker. He's just another slick, rude neon corporate hack, full of himself and just awful. I mean, the core is history itself. Cads like him don't belong here.
Well, I'm always happy to set things right.
I was right to talk to you about this. The last Hossanov was Sahar. Sad tale there.
Okay.
By all accounts, when she lost her last grandchild around 40 years ago, well, it broke her. She packed up and just plain left the estate. Built some farm far from Aquila City and the protection of its walls. It didn't take long before the Ashta overran the farm, and just like that, no more Hossanovs.
Sounds like old poor Sahar wanted to go out on her own terms.
A lot of folks thought the same. So I need someone to go to the old Sahar farm, brave the Ashta, and see if she left a will. I swear I'll honor her wishes. Aquila owes her family that much. And if it happens to kick Mr. Big Shot out of the core, well, that'll be a bonus.
Happy to help.
You are a blessing. Sahar's farm is elsewhere on the planet. If you can't handle Ashta, please just don't go. I don't want this whole sordid story to have more tragedy. Be careful, and look out for yourself.
Alright. Now, I can't remember if we can get there directly from here or if we have to take the ship. Yeah, I think we have to take the ship. We might be able to do it straight from here. There it is. Oh, there's the screenshot we took earlier today, everybody. What's that? Loading screens in Starfield. Well, guess what? Loading screens can also be a chance to check out the cool-ass motherfucking screenshots you took.
This.
And that was a cool-ass motherfucking screenshot. Alright, here's my new laser gun. Oh, shit! It blows up Ashta. At least it blows up level 5 Ashta. Oh, I'm starting from scratch on the PlayStation. Yeah, I'm not... This character will be retired. I may eventually play on this character again at some point down the road, but I'm going all in on the PlayStation. I've had 2.5 years to play on the Xbox. Enjoyed every moment of it, but I am looking forward to starting from scratch on a brand new platform and enjoying a brand new adventure alongside all of the new fans, and along the way creating a boatload of new guides and making more money. Content creation for the win. By the way, this gun kicks ass. Modded. Alright, anything in here? We've got sealant, always useful. We've got beer. Food. I am a bit peckish. Take a bite of that. What do we got in the fridge? Sealant! Hell yeah. Crafting shit for the win. And a polymer. More sealant. I'm gonna ignore that chest for a minute. What do we got? There's the will. Talk to Frank Langston. Let's read the will really quick. This is Sarah Hasselhoff's last will and testament, many pages long, but the most important part is she names Blake Aldwell as her primary heir. Apparently, he was an illegitimate child of one of her sons. There's another one of my screenshots that we just took. But loading screens in Starfield, meh. You know what? When you take badass screenshots, it's the best part of the game. It's memories of your adventures. The journey you took to get here.
Good old Aquila City. One thing I'll say is it's better than the UC.
Dun, 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 dun. That's right, the friends we made along the way. Hey Colt, you know all the questions you keep asking in TikTok, you should head over to my YouTube channel because there are 2.5 years of Starfield videos that answer every single one of the questions you keep asking on TikTok. I have hundreds of hours in this game and there are literally dozens of videos that give you every little detail you want to know about the game in all sorts of different formats, from 5-minute videos to 30-minute deep dives. Highly recommend you check them out, because you're not going to get the answers you seek during a live stream.
Hostile, no joke.
Because I make that content for people to do deep dives in. So, what should I do in Starfield? What's your opinion on Starfield? What else did you ask? Can I see your character? You're looking at my character right now. What to do in Starfield?
Like I said,
do you recommend
you
Starfield?
forget the whole Hassanov business rather than.
There you go. Go to YouTube. Watch all the Starfield videos. Answers are there.
I wish my granddad was still with us. What happened to the Hassanovs never sat right with him.
Well, I got Sarah's will.
You got it. That's wonderful. But Blake Aldwell. Well, let me think back. There was a Blake. Might be we can track him or any surviving kin down. I'll get my lawyer on this. Frank Langston's in for a rude surprise.
Yeah, I was very
And
saddened
we
when
can
they
maybe see a
canceled the
Hassanov return
Firefly
back to the
game that they were
core.
working on like a decade ago. Well, I'm glad we're doing right by the Hassanovs.
They helped make the Freestar Collective. If they have living heirs, well, it's more than I could have hoped for. You've more than earned this. You've done the city a great service.
And yet Star Citizen, No Man's Sky, and Cyberpunk 2077 all have loading screens just like this game. Not to mention those games can't do what this game can do when it comes to mods and what the creation engine allows people to do in terms of the creation of all the different cool mods that we get for Starfield. Is there a follow-up to that quest? I'm gonna go look this up. I don't know if there is. Last Will and Testament. There is no direct scripted up follow-up mission. Copy that. It just impacts who owns the manor. Okay. Correct! We had that discussion the other day. Like, No Man's Sky doesn't have the graphics, story, cinematics of Starfield. It doesn't have a complex, skill-based system for your character to progress. There's no narrative elements, no branching dialogue. There's no voiceovers whatsoever. We talked about this the other day in the, it was one of the rant videos. We talked about the pie chart and how every time a game is developed, a developer is given 100 points at character creation, and they have to choose how they spend their 100 points. Some games are going to put all their points into cool technical shit, like No Man's Sky, but then they consequently don't have any points left over for things like voice actors, narrative dialogue, complex skill trees, and everything else. But boy, oh boy, do they have a really cool procedural generation system, and you can land and take off on the planets and all that stuff, but it's not even the same type of game. So when people try to make those are what we call bad faith arguments, because they try to cherry pick their data. Unfortunately, because they don't know anything about game dev, those arguments fall flat on their face when faced with the facts of how games are developed. Cyberpunk 2077 also is a completely different, fundamentally different game. Everything is based on a single city, not multiple planets. So even though you do have gunplay and vehicles that you can drive around and a skill tree that you can do, you don't have ship-to-ship combat. You don't have any of those aspects in Cyberpunk 2077 because it is a narrative adventure focused on a single city. So fundamental differences when you start looking at the actual facts around these games. But seamless. No, there's loading screens in Cyberpunk. Trust me, there's loading screens in No Man's Sky too. Every time you do a warp, that's a loading screen. Every single time you go into, I can't remember the name of it, when you're going planet to planet, that's a loading screen. There's loading screens when you load into the anomaly, when you load into space stations. It will always hitch. You'll always see it hitch when you're flying into the, at least at the Xbox, when you're loading into the anomaly and you're loading into an environment with other players' vessels. The game will always have a slight little pause right when you're loading into the anomaly from space, because it has to transition from single player mode to multiplayer mode. And so there's a transition that is the loading screen that's happening as you're loading in and flying into that anomaly. All games have loading screens. This game is good, Daniel Green. I love Stargate. Stargate is awesome. Can't wait for the new show. Yep, that's right. A lot of people fundamentally misunderstood Crimson Desert and thought it was a big, huge RPG. And it's like, no, it's a sandbox action game. So you're not going to get narrative. Yeah, don't expect The Witcher 3 or Skyrim when you're playing. I am skipping the Crucible. We just did that a couple months back. I don't want to do too many more main quests because we're going to be doing these all over again very soon. There's another one of my new screenshots that we just took.
Lights,
I fucking love
glitter. There's nothing in the settled systems quite like neon. Crazy, terrible, but never dull neon.
No, it is not. And I gotta go back and grab Sahima again.
What's new?
Not much, Barrett. Where did Sahima run off to? Come on, cutie patootie with a booty. Where you at? There you are.
Prayer isn't spoken. It's felt. Need a hand with something?
Follow me.
I'm right behind you.
She has been super fun for her, like, dialogue alone. I cannot wait for Miria, though. That's going to be super fun. This place is like so not cool. Like she's just gonna be really fun to adventure with. Are there missions that cause fails on other missions? I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like there is, but I can't think of any specifics off the top of my head. What happened to NASA and Starfield? Oh, I'm not spoiling that. You have to play the game. But you definitely find out what happened to NASA. You definitely find out what happened to NASA in the main storyline. Yeah, that's a cool fucking quest too. Like, but I ain't spoiling that. Gotta go play the game. That is part of the main storyline. The only tip I will give you, Kyler, you need to make sure that you get in the habit of reading every single computer entry, picking up every single slate, and reading them.
Stop unless you're told to do so.
Don't skip on reading all the things that you come across. Because a ton of the story is tied to computer entries and logs and things that came from before. That's the only thing I'm going to say about that without any spoilers. Like all Bethesda games, you can do all of the factions. You are not limited to only one. Bethesda games always let you do all of the quests. This is no different. You can do them in any order that you prefer. Although I will say that's not quite true. That is not exactly true, because don't you get locked out of the Crimson Fleet? You get locked out of if you do, that is a fail state. So I think if you have Crimson Fleet quests and you join the UC Vanguard, I think you do get locked out of continuing and finishing Crimson Fleet stuff, and they'll fail the quests. Or vice versa, if you have UC Vanguard quests and you join the Crimson Fleet, it'll cancel. Pretty sure that's the exception to the rule. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I could almost swear that you can't do those. That's the one exception, because those are directly tied to each other. Like if you join the Crimson Fleet, you can't do the UC Vanguard, and if you join the UC Vanguard, you can't do the Crimson Fleet. I do, Ocular. There's a video out on YouTube right now for channel members, which talks about character creation, backgrounds, and traits. That video goes out to the general public tomorrow morning if you are not a channel member over on YouTube. And in that video, I talk about what I will be creating for my PS5 playthrough.
Hey there. Got the shakes, huh? Don't worry. Doc Manning will fix you up.
Is it that obvious? Yeah, haven't zoned in like a week. My whole body feels like it's crumbling.
Yeah, coming down off Aurora isn't easy. Took me months to shake it off.
The doc, he isn't gonna, rat me out to anyone, right?
You're looking well today.
No one cares
Thanks,
if you're
Doc.
addicted to the stuff. Hell, that's what they want.
Well, if it worked for you, I hope it works for me. I'm sick of feeling this way when I can't get a fix.
Oh my goodness. Another poor soul. All right. Tell me what happened to you. Is it an Aurora overdose? Something else, perhaps?
Oh, I meant UC SysDef, not Vanguard. My bad. Sorry, I didn't mean UC Vanguard. I got confused. The UC SysDef is different from the UC Vanguard. So you're correct. It's the UC SysDef that I'm talking about. Because when you join the Crimson Fleet, it's the UC SysDef, or you join SysDef or the Crimson Fleet. It's one of those two, because they are against each other. And I know that someone just said, like you can hack it and like do all of it up until the very end quest, and then switch over and do them. I mean, yeah, but that's also kind of like not. I'm going to say it's not in the spirit of the role play of that particular, because they are very much against each other. It is SysDef versus Crimson Fleet, and that is meant to be a situation of you're picking one side over the other. Those are the only two quest lines I can think of in the whole game where you can't really overlap. Otherwise, you could do all the faction quest lines. I don't use Aurora.
That's a very wise choice. Since you're clearly a first-time visitor to Reliant Neon, I'd love to offer you a free checkup, but I'm afraid I'm dangerously low on supplies.
That has always been that way, Lucas. So I literally just put out a video. This is another one, an instance of people who didn't know that you could do this. You have always been able to, since the launch of the game, travel to other systems via the cockpit of your ship. You have never needed to fast travel. All of the people who claim that, oh, there's so many menus and you have to use all the fast travel and you have to do... No, you do not. You have been able to travel directly from your cockpit since the beginning of the game. So, yeah, there's no embargo on that. Yeah, that's... Give me a second. I'll go back to my ship and show you guys.
If you've got time, I've got time.
All right, unusual for medical supply
I
company.
can assure you it isn't by choice. You see, I'm a bit at odds with the current administrator of Neon. His drug is turning the streets into a graveyard, and he doesn't seem to care. We've argued about it on more than one occasion, and all he's done is try to persuade me to quit. Thinning out my supply chain is his newest tactic.
He's obviously got a stranglehold on the city.
Then you understand what I'm up against.
This might even send me out to another destination, and I can show you guys
asking
exactly what I'm
anyone
talking
that has
about.
a ship registered outside of the Voli system to bring me medical supplies.
Yeah, he needs me to do a supply
I
run.
pay them for the supplies, of course, but it's the only way I can sneak them past Bayou's people
Got you
at
covered,
the
bro.
spaceport. Now, if there's anything else I can do for you, anything at all, you just let me know.
I can get the supplies for you.
That would be amazingly helpful. It's a relief to meet someone who gives a damn.
You're not
about
wrong,
anyone
Lucas.
other
It
than
almost seems
themselves
like
for
all
a
the
change.
popular videos about Starfield are wrong.
pay you directly
Most
for
of
the
them
supplies,
say
of
things
course.
like you can only space
It's the
travel
only
via
way I can
menus
sneak
and
them past
maps.
Bayou's people at the spaceport.
That's because those fucking people have never played the fucking game.
As much as I'd like to believe that,
Haters gonna
let's wait
hate.
and see how you feel
None of those
after you
people
make
have
the
actually
delivery.
played Starfield.
Anyway, I have a contact.
I am
over
so
at the
happy to
clinic in the
quash that
narrating
rumor.
system.
Give me 2 seconds because we're
Abby
about to
Eddie.
go
She's one
on
of the
a
nurses
little
there.
bit of a journey.
She'll get you started. Thank you so much for doing this. You have no idea how helpful it'll be for the poor folk that live in Ebside.
So we just got a quest
Stay
to
away
go
from
to
Aurora
a
before you get
space station to pick up some medicine for this guy. Now, there's a variety of ways that you could do this. One is I could directly travel there via... I open the menu up and notice on the bottom right it says set course. Right? If you have an active quest, it says relief run. Right? When you have an active quest, this is one way. I'm about to show you the other way, though. Just bear with me here. Okay. You don't even have to go back to your ship if you don't want to, nor do you have to go through 6 or 7 different menus. If you have an active quest, you could just click set course, and it's immediately going to do this right here and show you where you need to go. And you can jump right there and immediately go to your quest. And you're there. Now... the other way to do it is the way that all the haters will claim, which is the long way, which is you open up your menu, you go to the star map, you back out from here, you back out from here, and then you go search down and find the planet that you need to go to, and then you click on this, and then you click on that, and then you go here, and you go over here, and you click on this, and then you jump. That's the way that all the haters claim is the only way to play the game, and there's so many menus and all this blah 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 blah. So we've already showed you at the very beginning that there's a way to just immediately fast travel to the destination without ever going to your ship or going through any of the menus at all. But specifically, Lucas was talking about, can you go from your cockpit? Yes, you can, and that's what I want to show. So we are going to go to our ship right now. Now I could manually go to my ship if we want to. We can also go here and go to the surface map and go this way. But since I have this tracked, we're going to go ahead and go up through the elevator. We're going to go to the spaceport, and we're going to treat it as if this was a space simulator. So people who claim that you can't play this game like a space sim, you totally can. So here we go. We have our mission. We're being guided back to our ship.
James Newell better watch his back. He's causing problems. No percentage in causing problems.
We do have a active quest tracked, which is why it's showing me a blue dot. And we're going to go into our ship. We're going to go straight to the cockpit. We're going to take off.
Ready here. Doors good too.
I love showing this shit off because it just immediately shuts down every single troll and naysayer who has made these ridiculous claims about the game they've never played. Alright, so here we are in space. There's my waypoint. So the first thing you do is you just hit the scanner. What does the scanner do? So the scanner pops up and now all of a sudden we see the names of different planets. By the way, this ties into the cruise mode that is coming up, because now you'll be able to, like, right now I could pick any of these systems we wanted to fly to, but there's an additional menu option now with cruise mode where you can lock in on a place and set cruise on and then get up from your... But anyway, we're here to show off this. I have a mission in the Narion system. So once I have... If you open up your scanner like so, I can click Narion just like that and it shows mission. And I just hold down the X button, turn on the grav drive, and straight from my motherfucking cockpit, off we go to another star system.
Navigational feedback checks out. We're in the
Now,
right
there
place.
are exceptions to that, because if it's a place where your ship can't jump all the way because it's too far out of your range, it will take you to the map and you will have to do an additional jump because you won't be able to go straight to that system. But otherwise, in this case, my ship was capable of making the jump. We've arrived at the clinic. We're going to speed up. We're going to dock with the clinic. We're going to go grab the medical supplies we've been asked to gather. And then we can travel back the exact same way, all from the cockpit of my ship. Never once having to use the map. Never once having to go through any menus.
And you didn't even scratch the paint.
That's right, I didn't scratch the paint, Sarah. I know what I'm doing.
Ma'am, I'm
Got
just
anything you need to offload? Trade
I
authorities
understand
always
that.
buy.
I'm not blaming you
Kiosk
directly.
right here for you.
Dr. Salvato, how
We'll
long
let this
have
go
you
through the
been here?
dialogue here.
About a year now, Doctor.
And in that year, how many times have we had this conversation about late or missing shipments of supplies?
I believe this is the third time.
Yes, that sounds right. 3 times.
Thanks for the Twitch sub, White
And we'll be
Horse.
making
Appreciate
it
the
very clear
support.
to your superiors that lives are at stake.
Correct,
the
Old
clinic
Man Gaming. I
requires
never get
reliable
tired of the
transport.
takeoff animations.
If your company cannot meet our needs, someone else will.
There is no discount, but they have lowered the
yes,
cost
ma'am.
of the base game
Understood.
to
Thank you, Dr. Salvato.
$49.99.
You may return to your duties.
for the base game and then $69.99 for the premium edition. So, not a direct discount, but it is. Why is no one showing this, asks Lucas? Because people who hate Bethesda games make way too much money by promoting rage bait content of shit that doesn't actually exist. They're never going to show this stuff off because they don't want to show that they were wrong about the game.
Never seen armor
Do you think,
like that.
and I'm not going to mention specific
don't
names
give
here,
us any
but
reason to
all the
test it,
people
you
who claim, who make hate content around Starfield even 2.5 years later, and they make all these claims about this, that, or the other, but they've never actually played the game. If you want to know more about Starfield, all you got to do is watch people who play Starfield.
Something?
Thorgan, Sweet Pea, myself, Babylonia, all these people who play Starfield can actually show you
Are you here for a procedure?
And free lanes is even cooler because now we get to go within a system and freely go and travel between the planets. In cruise mode, you can lock onto a planet, set your cruise, get up from the cockpit, go around your ship, do some crafting, hang out, chat with your community. An alarm will sound when you're getting close to the planet. The ship will slow down, stop, go to your cockpit, land, dock, defend yourself if you're getting ambushed. I've gone through it 3 times. This character has gone through the Unity 3 times.
Hey, let's keep our voices down. The clinic doesn't exactly know I'm giving its supplies away. That being said,
hey, Colt, I've told you 3
soon.
times to go check out the YouTube
I've
channel.
Heard Bayou really has a vice
all
grip
the
on
answers
right
you
now.
have.
I have some supplies I
all
can
the answers you need
Should
for
be
your
more
questions
than
are over on the
enough
YouTube
for now,
channel.
and it
I'm not going
shouldn't
to tell
draw
you
any
again. So
suspicion from the clinic. I'll have them loaded
if you
onto
keep
your ship.
spamming the chat with Starfield questions, I'm gonna block you at this point. You've been told multiple times, go to the YouTube channel. I have literally hundreds of Starfield videos. 12,000 videos in total on my channel of all the games that I play. Every single question you have asked in TikTok chat has been answered in a video over on my YouTube channel, and I've told you multiple times. So you are about to get the banhammer. Stop being a dipshit. That's like the 15th or 20th question you've asked, and I've responded to you multiple times. There's a video for that on YouTube. There's a video for that on YouTube. If you ask again, I dare you.
Know what to say in moments
Say
like
what?
this.
One more time, motherfucker. Ask me one more. There he goes. Bye. See ya, bitch. And you know what? We haven't gotten to play our band music today. Let's pull that up really quick. We're 3 hours into the stream. We haven't had a band music played today.
Strong hand, fist of iron, judgment falls. Hearts are dying.
Band hammer strikes. Tears like rain. Justice served. Feel that pain.
So,
ask stupid questions, win stupid prizes, kids. When I tell you respectfully, hey, you know those 3 questions you asked, you can go find those over on YouTube. And then you ask 3 more, and you ask 3 more. And I tell you again, hey, all those questions you have, you can find answers to that over on the... And then you just keep going. See ya, bitch. It's not hard. Like, I literally make game guides for a living. That's why there's like 12,000 videos on my YouTube channel over the past 4.5 years. However long I've been doing this now. This reminds me, this is probably the same person or one of the same people who complained yesterday on my TikTok or Instagram. It was one of those. They were like, what did they say? I told you guys about this at the beginning of the stream. I was like, they complained about how all my clips on TikTok and Instagram cut off at like a minute and a half, 90 seconds or whatever, right when the content's getting juicy. They cut off, and in the description it says, for the full video, make sure to go to YouTube, and I drop a link. And I had somebody complain, could you please start talking about the whole subject matter in your short form content? I don't want to watch long form content. Not my fucking problem. Like, TikTok and Instagram are for clips. The clips always are cut from long form content. If your attention span is so fucking small that you can't go watch a 5 or 10 or 15 minute video, I don't fucking want you here. Like, this is not a channel for people who only watch highlight reels. This is not a channel for people who live their lives off of TikTok brain rot and 60-second clips. Like, this is for full-fledged adults who have fully formed brains, who have all of their faculties, and we enjoy long-form content and long-form conversations. Don't be a dipshit, and I won't treat you like a dipshit. Everything in between the straps happens on YouTube, everybody, so get your ass over there. tuning in.
So
That's right, Bubbles.
were
That, by the way,
saying?
that song is courtesy of Babylonia Rising. About a year and a half ago, I think, is when he made that. Gray says, I know they're not, but I swear some of these people act like they are 10-year-olds. My 10-year-old children used to do that when they were 10. Oh, I don't get worked up, Eric. We do this for the purpose of entertainment. There is no me being worked up. There is... If you have been told something, like we're doing what's called entertainment. If you've ever been to a stage performance, the actors on stage, they overact when they're on stage. If you've ever watched a band go perform live, they're definitely...
I'm sorry.
There's
were
a
you
presentation
waiting for
that's
me,
happening where they're
or-
doing the song as opposed to when they're just in the studio recording something. It's called entertainment. So when I am live, I'm here to entertain, and I personally get great entertainment out of like trolls because I get to farm those clips out on social media and make tons of money off of them. So, but anybody who's been here long term, yeah, no one's getting worked up. We are over dramatizing for the purpose of entertainment. Performative, exactly. Calm down, Gramps. They're gonna have a heart attack.
Sorry. I can't do that. This is the most I can give you without drawing suspicion.
Oh, let's use the auto persuade. Hand it over now.
Easy. We're just talking, right? Oh, I really shouldn't do this. If the clinic finds out...
Oh, it's just the tip, honey.
All right. You win. You're
I'm not
very
doing any mods for my
persuasive.
PlayStation playthrough.
I
Nope.
can throw in a few extra supplies, but I'm not going to make this a regular thing, okay?
We're
They'll be
going in
loaded onto your
raw and wriggling.
You know, just by breathing the air in here, you are being exposed to a
We're doing a raw playthrough. All right, back to the cockpit. We're gonna undock.
That's a clean break. Ready to go.
And then once again, we got to get clear of the space station. But once we're clear of the station, we can open up our menu or our scanner, click right on Volley, and off we go. Space sim method. Boom. But there's so many menus in Starfield.
You've entered Freestar Collective space. Maintain your current course while we scan for contraband. Alright, you're good. Welcome to Neon.
And then we can land and go deliver our medicine.
Ryujin Industries is looking for the young, bright minds of the future.
Young, bright minds of the future are not the ones that we deal with in chat every day, I'll tell you that much.
You're looking well today. What can Reliant Medical do for you?
Here you go, buddy. I even was able to convince Abby to throw in some extras.
Fantastic. That'll really help out around here. Thanks for everything. These supplies will be put to good use. Here, take this. I threw in a bit extra for you, since you really came through for me.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And that, my friends, was to showcase to Lucas that you can, in fact, play this game like a space sim, if you want to. Shiny! Shiny, you know, the funniest thing is since we're getting a, your name reminded me of this. So we're getting a live-action version of Moana, and I really hope that the Shiny song is in that film and they don't change it, and it's the exact same way as it is in the animated film. Because every time I see your name, I get triggered of that Shiny song in Moana. It's just that's such a fun movie if you've never actually watched the animated Moana. It's such a good film. I can't wait for the live-action version. Yeah, the future of humanity is torched, if this current generation is any indication of what's to come. Yes, I think there's something to be said. So, I am not against technology, but I am Gen X, so I grew up without tech. We got the internet when I was in my early teens. My dad was an early adopter. Not early, but I remember my dad had one of those for his work, because of his job. So he was a contractor. He had a construction company. And he had one of those. It was an over-the-shoulder thing. But, I mean, it was like a full-on... I don't know if I have anything. It was about this size. Oh, no. Maybe not quite that big. Well, this is thicker than it was. So, but it was about this big, but about half that thickness. So it was about half this thickness, but it was about this big. And on the top of it was the phone receiver that you would pick up, right? And this was the battery. And that thing weighed like 10 pounds. And he had this mobile phone that he would take with him in his truck to work. He had a mobile phone like in 92, 93. It's we had the internet when I was in the early teens. He had a phone, but like I didn't get a cell phone until probably 98 or 99. I had one for work because he had a plan and all of his employees got phones so that he could tan stuff. And it was one of those old Nokia block phones, right? That were like this big. It was a Nokia block phone. You could play Snake on it and that was it. But I didn't have my own computer. Like, we had a home PC, but it was for my dad's work. And I did get to play some point-and-click adventure games on it. But, like, I could... Like, if you think about as an adult human being... I'm trying to think if there was a time that I could look at when I felt like technology had moved us beyond the analog to the digital. And I gotta say it was sometime just in the early 2000s. Because I can remember even in the late 90s, yes, I had internet. And yes, websites were coming out and everything else. But we didn't have Google Maps. We didn't have, like, smartphones. That's the thing for me. That right there, the smartphone. I think the smartphone for me... that was the point when I can say, for me, I feel like smartphones were the bridge, like the point of no return. Like, because even before smartphones, it was like, yeah, we had internet, but life was still kind of like it was when I was growing up, even though we had the internet. Like, it was still an analog world. Because if you wanted to go somewhere, you still had to have like a map or a printout or a physical atlas. You still had to ask people for directions. And I think the moment the smartphone came along, everyone went from talking to other people to only ever having their face right here. So I think the smartphone is the thing for me I can look at as like the pivotal moment. So the generation that has grown up with this, I did not grow up with this. I grew up with no cell phone until I got, like, in the late 90s, I had a work phone. And here's the thing, I actually resisted getting a smartphone until 2015, which was multiple generations into smartphones. And the only reason I got a smartphone was because I got a contract with TripAdvisor when I was living in Cancun. And they were like, we need to be able to contact, like the coordinator has to be able to contact you on a daily basis and coordinate the visits with you via WhatsApp. So the only way I could get WhatsApp was I had to go get a smartphone so that I could have an app on the phone to be able to do video calls and texting with my coordinator for the project. And it was a big project worth tens of thousands of dollars. So I goddamn right I went out and got a smartphone so that I could get that gig. And I do feel like ever since I got a smartphone, I was 35. Yeah, I was 35 years old when I got a smartphone. And that for me was Like, so I've had a smartphone now for 11 years. I can say that for me, that was a
Those
pivotal
supplies
moment.
were
Like, getting a
sorely needed.
smartphone, I went
Thanks again
from
for getting
analog
them to
to,
me.
like, it literally was a life-changing thing for me. And after I'd had it for about a year, I was like, holy shit, why didn't I have a smartphone for like I could have had a smartphone for the past 5 or 6 years. And the one that really changed my life was Google Maps. Google Maps and Google Translate, having the ability to have on my phone a way to instantly get anywhere with Google Maps and not need a fucking hand map anymore or printouts. I was like sitting here going, why the fuck didn't I get a smartphone years earlier? And then just instant communication with WhatsApp, like being able to instantly do a video call with someone, not need to do a phone call. That literally did. I feel like that changed my life. And that wasn't that long ago. Like, if you think about it. And I probably could have had one 5-10 years earlier. I don't really know how long smartphones have been around, to be honest with you, because I didn't get into smartphones until I was in my mid-30s. Speaking of which, I'm getting a phone call right now, which is a spam call. So fuck off, telemarketer. But that thing has changed my life. And I do feel like that is the thing that the current generations who are growing up with smartphones, like my grandniece is 3.5 years old. She knows exactly what to do with this thing, and her tablet too. She's got her YouTube Kids app. She knows how to get to that app on her tablet, and all she does with my wife's phone is TikTok. She wants, and it's actually, I'm trying very hard to fight the addiction, because she has this thing where, like, if you let her, she will sit there and eat breakfast while watching TikTok. She'll do everything while she's just watching TikTok, and she'll be eating her food. And I am very much like, let's not have her on the phone while we're doing. And my wife and her sister are both like, oh, just let her be. And I'm like, like kids today, like the kids who have grown up with tablets and smartphones, like they can't comprehend a world without internet and without a device that's telling them everything they need at the click of a button. They have all the information at the click of a finger, at the click of their buttons, at their fingertips. They have maps, they have translate things, they have instant video calls. Like, I can remember spending, and no joke, thousands of dollars on long distance phone calls back in the day to call. Like, I had an aunt who lived in Germany. I had a girlfriend, the girl that I was with for a very long time, who was from Bulgaria. Before, we got, I was traveling there before she got a visa to come. And so there was a lot of, I would go to Europe and travel, but in between there was lots of phone calls and stuff. This is, Discord and Skype, and man, like long distance phone calls became a thing of the past. Like, once the internet changed things. So it's like, I do feel like my generation was definitely the last generation to grow up without those things, because once you hit the millennials, maybe the early millennials grew up without tech, but I would say anybody that was born in the late 80s, early 90s, by the time you were 10-15 years old, you had the internet, you had all this stuff already at your fingertips. But definitely anybody who's been born in the smartphone and tablet generation, they have no clue what it was like to touch grass, drink water from a hose, build a ramp for your bicycle, and
what can Reliant Medical do for
shit that probably we shouldn't have been doing, but we did anyway. Phones are smart, but people are stupid. Yes, I agree. I do not want to go back to dumb cell phones. I'm sorry. I never want to go back to, like, Google Maps is my number one. Like, I don't ever want to rely on physical directions from someone ever again. Google. I remember when I went to Puerto Vallarta for the very first time, was on a work trip, and Puerto Vallarta has this really fucked up, like, road system where there's like there's a center. There's 2 lanes that go this way and 2 lanes that come this way that go through the heart of Puerto Vallarta, right? And then there are these crazy lateral roads that are on either side, and they have these, they're not ramps, they're just little side streets that cut into the main arteries. and it is a confusing,
Those
messed up
supplies were
system where there's
sorely
not any
needed.
stop signs,
Thanks
there's no
again for getting
stoplights
it
or
to me.
anything like that. And Google Maps saved my ass when I was driving around in a rental car on a work project. My buddy and I almost got taken out by a bus, and it was a crazy time. The two of us were on location for like 2 weeks doing a bunch of photo shoots. And like having Google Maps like tell us how to navigate the city while we're driving around in this rental car was so useful. I just love it, and I love being told like there's road work ahead, there's going to be a delay, here's an alternate route. Oh, you don't want to use tolls, here's an alternate route. Like I've never had Google Maps fail me. It's been the most useful tool as an adult that I have come across. And Google Translate, especially with like the translation tool has gotten so much better, and the way you can do it in real time. So like recently when my PlayStation blew up, right? So my PlayStation blew up, and when my PlayStation blew up, this is like September, it like defaulted everything back to Chinese lettering on the screen. So I literally was holding my phone up using Google Translate to in real time translate the error codes and everything that was, and read the instructions on the screen to figure out what buttons to press to go through to try to reinstall things. And then when I was working with tech support to cover my warranty, they wanted me to record videos. So then I was able to switch it to Spanish and show them what was going on screen in Spanish using Google Translate, and then I sent those videos to them as well. Like Google Translate is a super cool tool that is one step closer to that, earworm that we're going to have like Star Trek, where we have an automatic universal translator. That kind of shit. I love tech, man. I love tech now that I'm in it, But I did resist for a long time the smartphone thing. I do love the tools that the internet has provided us with. But the addiction to phones is a big problem. Like I see it with my grandniece. Like she won't even talk to you if if she has the phone in her hand, she won't acknowledge you. You'll say her name and she is not paying attention. She is right here and that's it. Eating her breakfast, ignoring everything. You literally have to like take the phone away from her and put it up on a shelf. And there's been a couple of times where she's had a little bit of a meltdown over it. And I'm pretty strict about and Chris is like, "Oh, but," and I'm like, there is no buts. Like this is, curb that shit now because it'll turn into a much bigger issue later. Because there is definitely a thing where I've seen social settings where people will go to dinner, and they won't even like communicate with the other people at the table. They're just like in their phone the whole time. And it's like, if you're in a social setting, put that shit away. Like, we're here to be social and to have human interactions. And if we're at the same table and you're fucking on your phone while we're at the table, fuck you. Get the fuck out. Like, put your phone away or get the fuck out. Like, we're here to be social and have fun. Kavor says I dated a girl in college that had a pager. Oh, dude, I remember pagers. We watched a movie recently, guys. I can't remember what it was. Like 2 or 3 months ago, we watched a movie that was from like the 90s, and they had pagers, and Chris was like, "What is that?" Because they didn't have they didn't have pagers where she grew up. That was not a thing here. Pagers were not a thing here. So she had never seen a pager, and we're watching this movie from the U.S. It was something from the 90s, and they had pagers in them. I think it was probably a cop film or something, and they had pagers. And there was a scene in the film where everybody's pagers were going off because there was like an emergency happening, and she was like, "What is that thing?" And I was like, "Oh, that's." So we had to pause the movie, and I had to explain pagers to her, which was hilarious. Yeah, TV turned off at dinner time. I think that's very important. I think dinner time is even if it's just 30 minutes out of the day, I think dinner time is a be social, talk to each other about the day, put the fucking phone down. Also, I'm a big fan of the smartphone in the bathroom. I do not miss the days of having physical books. I love sitting on my phone and like scrolling TikTok or Instagram, reading news articles, watching videos. Babblefish, aka the Hitchhiker's Guide. Exactly. That's right, Gray. Try watching NCIS. That's right, like old school cop stuff. Reading the shampoo bottle on the toilet. Dude, the shampoo bottle or like the hairspray bottle or like whatever's next to you, you're like just reading the ingredients because you're trying to burn time while you're taking a shit. Oh, it's so funny. I never had a pager. My uncle had a pager. We were the same age. He was a year older than me, and that was his big thing. He was like 20 years old, maybe 19, 20, and he had a pager, and he lorded it over everybody. It was like, oh yeah, I have a pager. I'm so important. Oh, my girlfriend's paging me. So, yeah, tech is crazy stuff, man. Time flies. I definitely don't think that technology is a bad thing, but I do think that it can lead to bad habits, and it's like a tool.
Give me your honest opinion. Do you think I could make it?
Beds are comfortable and affordable, and with a crime rating of only 16%, your safety is almost guaranteed.
Are you here to book a room? Welcome to the Hotel Voli. Are you here to rent a room? I think you'll be
Can't you buy an
pleasantly
apartment here?
surprised that our luxury accommodations are more than reasonably priced.
That's Neon. There's always a catch.
Nope, no catch. My hotel is completely free from administrative influence, so you can rest assured that you'll be actually getting the best value for your credits.
Bubbly says, dude, I still read everything I can when waiting everywhere I go. The funniest thing to me has always been like doctor waiting rooms and dentist waiting rooms, and there's like 2-year-old magazines. Must have taken a miracle to arrange.
No miracle, just some good old-fashioned ingenuity.
Ingenuity!
But that's a story for another time.
But what about right now?
So, can I book you a room for the night?
Do you get a lot of tenants? How about, why don't you let me in on your little secret about how you beat the system?
Maybe after you've rented a room for a few nights, I might let you in on my secret. For now, it'll just have to remain a mystery. Sorry.
Okay.
I just need some time to see if I can trust you. I'm sure you understand.
Is there anything here? I don't know that I've ever talked to her about that before.
I have one all set and ready to go. How long are you planning on staying?
Here you go.
I love to hear it. Let me know if you need anything.
Visit your rented room. Huh. Says if you stay for a few days, she'll talk to me more. So I guess I rented it for a week. They can listen to you over our car speakers. This is not a bad little place. Oh, look at that. Cyberrunner Cypher. Laser weapons permanently do 5% more critical damage. Booyah. But there's nothing to see and do in Starfield. Yeah, my brother does audiobooks in his tractor. He'll be out there working, cutting hay for 8 hours. So he's a big fan of audiobooks. I have never attempted to rest for a few hours or a few days here and see if she actually has dialogue. However, it still tells me visit your rented room, which I have done. We'll do 3 days just to see. I do wish that this could be sped up a little bit. I feel like it could go a little bit quicker. So it still has that as a... We'll do one more, and then we'll go down and talk to her again, because it still has a blue thing like visit your rented room. I wonder why. Strange. Excuse me. I am super hungry, guys. I gotta go get dinner here in a bit. But you know what? It is. Is this Friday night or is it Thursday night? It is Friday night. Probably need to go see what kind of movies I can watch with Chris tonight. Alright, let's go downstairs and talk to the... owner. Any features that I didn't like in this game? I think like most Bethesda games, I think it's a legitimate complaint. Yes, Greenland 2 was great. I did like the first one a little bit better, but Greenland 2 was good.
We have
So
plenty of space
Bethesda
available.
NPCs, and it's just the way Bethesda makes games. Everybody treats you like you're the chosen one. And that's a legitimate complaint when you look at all these other games. I do think that that's something that I wouldn't mind Bethesda changing to where they don't just always treat, because like, you'll just be walking along and somebody will be having like a conversation about something, like two NPCs, and they will all of them, you'll be like walking by and they will just turn and start talking at you, right? And that has always felt a little weird, because it's like, you know, go ahead and have that conversation. Let me be the fly on the wall over here. You don't need to turn around and include me in that. Like, I don't need to be a part of that, right? And I think that's a legitimate thing. Bubblein says, I wish Outposts were more fleshed out so I could do more Sim Settlements 2 style playthroughs. That's fair. Dagnassi says the traveling between planets, which they are correcting with free lanes. That was my biggest gripe.
That much on your mind?
Yeah, I don't know that I had
feel
too
you.
many...
Maybe after you've rented a room for a few nights.
She still doesn't want to talk
I
to me.
might let you in. Sorry. Remember, we always have plenty of amazing rooms at reasonable rates.
I know one of the things that I complained about at the beginning of the Xbox was the fact that it was locked to 30 frames, which I was like, I'm not a huge frame rate complainer. I don't whine about frame rates too often, but I did kind of feel like I played it and had a great time. My first playthrough was like 160 hours or something. I had a great time, and 30 frames didn't feel that bad other than in some intense combat scenarios. But when they added the uncapped frame rates and performance mode and everything else to the Xbox, that was a huge boost to the game, in my opinion. So I think any of the complaints that I had at launch, they have like addressed. Like they have made, like, not having a vehicle. The Rover was a big deal. Like, the Rover was a really cool addition. And I was very vocal about the fact that I had no desire to go explore planets when I was doing it on foot. Because literally the only way to get to those distant POIs was to hoof it. Or if you had a boost pack that could help you out, you could help boost along the way. But it was like you would go run for 45 minutes to get to some of those POIs. It's like there's no point in me doing space exploration on foot. I had no desire to do that. When they added the rover and I could drive to destinations and it was way quicker, I was like, oh, well, I'm totally going to do planet exploration now. The rover was a thing for me that I felt like was sort of a game changer. And then also all the gameplay options, like when they allowed you to go in here and do all of this stuff, like that was huge. That was a free add-on as well. Like that was just something they patched into the game because of player feedback. So those kind of things, I think like all of the little complaints that I had, again, if you watch my original review, I called this a meh game. Good game, not a great game. And now it's my favorite Bethesda game. And it is because of all of the hard work they have put into adding these types of things. The rover. The overland maps was a big deal as well. Like we didn't have these overland maps at the beginning of the game. This didn't exist. Like we didn't have these cool overland maps that you could go look at. No, that was a free edition. So like they have definitely taken the time to listen to player feedback.
Our beds are comfortable and affordable.
No sé, está en la casa.
16%, your safety is almost
Sí,
guaranteed. So
sí,
go out,
a las 3:30.
have fun, live your best
Sí.
life. We'll be here when you're ready. The hotel full
Sí, está en la casa. No sé dónde. Smeagol, did mommy just put you in the room? Come here. So yeah, I think that all the little things that I had complaints about, they patched and made better. And now Freelance is coming, and there's more stuff coming. I'm gonna wrap it here though, guys. It is 5 o'clock. I need to get some food in my belly and then try to find a movie to watch with my wife. We finished Dunkin' Eggs, so we're done with the shows. So I need to go see what we can watch tonight. I don't know that there are any new series we want to start. We will see. I'll be back. Tomorrow morning is Saturday. I might do something different tomorrow morning. I might play some more Crimson Desert, or we might play some Fallout 76. We might play some Fallout 4 tomorrow morning. I'm gonna see how I feel tomorrow morning when I wake up, but I am kind of feeling like I'm ready to just make my final review for Crimson Desert and move on. I might do one more day. We'll see how the morning goes tomorrow, but there is a great chance that I might do something different. Thanks for the super chat, Crimson Void. Love the game. My gripe was the story pacing. I've also got... What is this Game Pass game? I forgot the name of it. I gotta go look at it really quick. Disco Elysium, right? Which is on Game Pass. Maybe I'll play some Disco Elysium tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning I might do something different. Because we've been riding that Crimson D. We've been riding the D for, I feel like, a couple of weeks now pretty hard. I'm closing in on 100 hours on that game. So we'll just see we'll see what the morning brings. But tomorrow afternoon, more Starfield. Every afternoon, more Starfield until we get to Tuesday and we launch. So stay tuned. And there is another video that's about to publish as soon as we wrap up the stream about Starfield over on YouTube. So get ready to go watch that video. And tomorrow morning, we've already got the next PS5 Beginner's Guide ready to go for character creation, backgrounds, and traits. So stay tuned for that. We got 2 great clips tonight on aliens and Starfield, and then a Renfell rant on demographic dipshits. So stay tuned for those tomorrow. And plus, we had some stuff that I haven't clipped out yet from this morning's Crimson Desert stream. So stay tuned for those as well. Lots of shit happening. See you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the super chats, memberships, the Renfell rant. Did I miss? I missed a Renfell rant. Is Disdain still in chat? I feel so bad. I missed a disdain Renfail rant. No! I need audio cues for the Renfail rants. I just saw that in the notifications. I need to reach out to Disdain somehow. I think he's in our Discord because I missed a Renfail rant, which we will need to redeem the next time we are live. No! Is he in our Discord? Let me check. Hang on, guys, as we're finishing up the stream. I don't think Disdain is in our Discord chat. No! That was an hour ago. And I totally missed that. No! Let me send him a DM on Twitch so that he knows I saw it, and then we will get to it tomorrow. Let me send Disdain a message here real quick, guys. That's right, kids. Only Rens over on YouTube. All right, hang on. Let's send him a DM. All right, I have sent Disdain a direct message. I'm gonna copy and paste that. His Renfell rant, which we will cover tomorrow, is people who complain about clunky or bad game mechanics without actually playing the game or reading the instructions and the manuals, which is a great topic. And I may have been inadvertently ranting about that when he did that rant without paying attention that he had claimed that Renfail rant. All right, Disdain. I will get to that tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. I was going through and saying thanks everybody for their super chats and everything and memberships and renewals and all that stuff. And then I saw that I'd missed. I really need, I don't think there's a way for me to set up audio cues and stream elements for the redemptions of those things, those channel redemptions. At least I don't know of a way to do it yet, so we'll find out more. Don't forget about the Only Rens, everybody. See you tomorrow. Yes, I hear you, Smeagol. I know.